Hello, hello, hello. Give me one moment as I get the game audio to cooperate. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, the folks that are here. Appreciate you taking the time on a 4th of July to hang out with little old me as I'm slowly succumbing to the claws, the grips of alcohol. So it should be coming through the game audio. Rackron Duel, thank you. Hello. How you doing? Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Yeah, I'm actually a little curious why the game audio is not coming through. Interesting. Oh, probably because the game doesn't have any audio to share with us right now because I turned the music off because I'm a YouTuber. That's right. All right, well, there we go. Problem solved. Unfortunately, I can't play any of the soundtrack for this game because of copyright reasons. YouTube would send the FBI after me should I play any copyrighted music. Brandon the Alien, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. So today's going to be a little bit different. It's probably the most structured stream that I've ever done, probably ever. The most structured I've been for anything in my entire life. So we'll see together if my brain can, understand how, to plan things out. So what I want to start with is I want to play Twisted Metal 2012, and I'm going to do what I'm going to call the Tactical Nuke Challenge. I'm going to see if I can beat 25 kills in a row on max Cars Endurance. And while we do that, what I'd like to do is talk about what we want to see in a new Twisted Metal game. And I want to structure that a little bit where, Lexi Spec, thank you, happy 4th of July. Hope you're all doing well. Really appreciate y'all coming out for this. So what I want to do for the wish list is I want to take 2 vehicles, 2 levels, and then 1 sort of intangible characteristic or trait from a Twisted Metal game. So Twisted Metal 1, we can choose 2 vehicles, 2 levels, and then 1 trait of that game. For instance, we can say, oh my god, happy Arson Day. Brad Willis, thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it. So let's say for Twisted Metal 1, we can choose Dark Side and Mr. Grimm for our 2 choices. We can pick Freeway Free For All and the Rooftops level, and then we pick 1 sort of nebulous trait about the game. For instance, the grounded atmosphere or the there's no energy commands, stuff like that. And I want to do that for each game. And I want your guys' help to help me decide what to choose for each game. Because I think I have my answers, but my answers are also very dumb and very, subjective. So I'm excited to see what people might say. So to do the Tactical Nuke Challenge at the same time as we do this wish list, I'll probably start with, I guess, Sun Springs, California is what I had in mind myself. So I think that'd be a good place to start. So we'll go there, keep it on normal. Actually, we'll go to hard, just to give me something to, some reason to complain if something goes wrong. Traffic, pedestrians, yeah, the whole thing, the whole shebang. Let's get that frame rate to dip as low as possible. And if you guys want to tell me some cars to use, I'm happy. Otherwise, I'll stick with, I guess, I like Outlaw a lot. He's kind of my go-to. But if you guys have a better idea, then I'm more than happy. Happy 4th of July, Dr. Bad Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, happy 4th to all you guys. I mean, I really didn't expect, many people to be stopping by, at this time of night on a 4th of July, given fireworks and whatnot are going on. So it really does mean a lot. You guys are hanging out with me. Kenny Rose, yes, this is on a PS3, although I'm not sure how the frame rate is keeping up on the stream, but gameplay-wise, it seems to be okay, but of course the recording it from the PS3 to the computer is probably not the smoothest transition there, but hopefully it goes okay. So we do the Outlaw. I think when I do this mode, the Max Cars Endurance, I can only choose 1 vehicle. So I'll start with Outlaw because that is my go-to. High armor, good output. We'll make him a nice 4th of July flavor if we can. Let's see. Yeah, Union Jack. Oh, there we go. Stars and Stripes. We are in business, friends. God bless America. Alright, let's get into it. Do I want to overwrite save data? Fuck yeah, I do. Put this shit into memory. lay it out in code on this hard drive. Set it into stone. We are stars and stripes forever. Okay, I already... God damn it. Just let me play. Just let me play the game. There we go. Yeah, Sweet Tooth is a good one for me as well. I do like using Sweet Tooth. I tend to skew more towards the vehicles with higher armor, kind of slower speed. You know, I'm only 25 years old, or 26 years old, I guess now. So my reflexes shouldn't be diminishing at the rate they are. However, I don't want to put in the time and effort to learn how to play fucking Crimson Fury. So I'm going to use a slower vehicle, higher armor, more forgiving, especially one that can do as much damage as Outlaw can. Sweet Tooth would be my go-to. Yeah, Sweet Tooth is just great in every game except TM3. I think you really can't go wrong if you play Sweet Tooth, especially like in Twisted Metal Black, where you're just borderline a boss character, like with how much armor and damage output he can do. It's absolutely bonkers. But it's been a bit since I played this game. I think the last time I played it was probably for like a short, just to record like gameplay and stuff, so I actually haven't like played it, so it's gonna be a bit rough getting used to it. But we're going for a tactical nuke. 25 kills in a row in our first attempt yields us 0 opponents, so RIP my chances here. But in front of me I have my bases covered as far as beverages go. We got a coffee mixed with Screwball, I think it's a whiskey, it's like a peanut butter whiskey. Also a room temperature Diet Coke that I thought would be my caffeine, but it got upgraded to the coffee, and then I have a Powerade to keep me from like completely imploding from dehydration. So wish me luck, everyone. So I think what I'll do is I'll stock up on weapons. This game for me is like one of my better ones to play, at least in my experience so far. Like I think I'm pretty good at Black, pretty good at head-on. Although it's hard not to be good at head-on. But this game, I think, is one that I tend to do pretty okay at. Which is why I would attempt this challenge in no other game besides Twisted Metal 2012. But yeah, let's talk about the wish list. So I think for the wish list, we'll start chronologically, I suppose, with Twisted Metal 1. And I haven't played a whole lot of that game, like compared to people who are like way more familiar with like the ins and outs and intimacies of the game. But I know from the time that I have played that I really loved the map Cyberbia just for its scale and its detail, and I think it really embodies what Twisted Metal wants to do as far as destroy your own backyard, destroy the familiar. And oh my god, this is so hard to like play at the same time on hard mode. I should not have picked hard mode. This is absurd. Dat Boy, thanks for showing up. Appreciate you stopping by to watch me fail as I try to stretch my brain across as many different topics and like stimulations as possible. Playing this weird game. I know it's weird without music. I could probably add music through OBS or Streamlabs, so let's give that a shot. My problem is whenever I try to do that, I can only do one song at a time. Like I can't do a playlist, which is kind of bizarre, but yeah. Or you know what? Hey, I could probably work this out through like a YouTube or something. Let's figure this out. Let's get a Twisted Metal music playlist because yeah, I want to give you guys something to have in the background. Probably should have planned this out sooner, but typically I try to just let my voice fill the soundscape. But today let's lean a little bit on these OSTs. Yeah, there's not really a playlist for all the songs, so I'll just go with the TM2012 since that's what we're doing. Also, I don't know why that's monitoring across my external speakers and my headphones. That's quite annoying. Right? Love it. Fantastic. So let me know if you can hear that, because it's probably loud as fuck. Okay, great. Yeah, let me know how that goes. It's very loud in my ears. So fucking good luck to me. Okay, yeah, I think that's serviceable, right? Yeah, let me know what you think about that. Anyways, something I like to see from TM1 get transferred over to a newer game are dangerous pedestrians, NPCs, cops, militia, preacher, extremists. I think that's true, because I don't think we got to see that too much, except for in Twisted Metal Black. where if you look on, I think for sure on the rooftops, like the Warhawks rooftop level, you can see like little pedestrians running around with rifles and stuff. I don't know if they actually do damage, but at least the aesthetic is there, and I think that it goes a long way to like make it feel like a more, you know, real, lived-in world. You know, sort of makes the action feel a bit more impactful when you kind of see the world reacting to you that way. So I'm with you 100% on that. So if we're picking two different vehicles, two different levels, and then one intangible characteristic, you know, I would say that'd be one for sure. I never played 2012 version of Twisted Metal, but I do have a copy of TM2, which I played a few times or so. That's great. Yeah, this game is probably the one that sold the least, if not Small Brawl, but definitely this is the game that got overlooked, just because I think, you know, it came out late in the PS3 cycle, where I think there were just better places to go for this, you know, sort of multiplayer action. Twisted Metal was sort of on the downslope by then. Sort of this was the dead cat bounce, the dying breath of the car combat genre. So I didn't expect it to really get too far as you know, sales and stuff. But it seems like most people either don't know it exists or they do know it exists, but they just kind of skipped it entirely. But it's definitely a worthy game for carrying the Twisted Metal name. Versus, you know, some say Twisted Metal 4 shouldn't carry that title. But I love this game. I think it's great. And let me know if the music is coming in at a proper volume, which I surely hope it is. I only played Head-On, Black, and a little Small Brawl. That's surprising to me. I think I saw you left a comment on one of my videos, which I appreciate, that someone was commenting like, oh, how are those the ones you play, but not like the PS1 era ones, which is just something. I don't want to make you feel bad about it. You know, you play what you play, but just most people, like 99% of like Twisted Metal players, it seems like they've played, you know, 2 and 3 and 4, and then maybe they picked up Black when they got older and stuff. But that was their entire experience of this franchise. But for someone to come in later like that with Head-On and Black, that's pretty cool. Can barely hear the music. Okay, let's work on this then. I have a volume slider I can manipulate to our heart's content. Okay, let me know if that's good. Yeah, I can whip this thing up and down all night long. I sure can. So I think let's just structure this a little bit. So if we're going to take two vehicles from Twisted Metal 1, what are we going to take? Because I'm thinking my favorite vehicle from that game is probably Roadkill so far. I just like the balance of armor and speed, on top of, I don't know, just being a cool looking car. Like the whole junkyard aesthetic I think is really neat, where that doesn't get explored too much. Like for a competition that's supposed to be like you're bringing in your own death machine, your own, you know, metal box of war. You know, I like the one that seems more like scrapped together, you know, versus like a Corvette coming in, or like just a motorcycle. Like, come on, what are we doing? That level's good, great, okay. Yeah, let me know if I have to adjust it anyway, because like this is the YouTube playlist now that I'm going off of, so like there could be one that comes in like super hot, just fucking super loud, so I'll have to adjust accordingly. One big thing for a new TM game is to have the AI fight each other to make it not feel like a 1v everyone battle all the time. I think that's true, but I think there's a reason that all of the Jaffe, you know, single track incognito games, all, you know, they made a choice to have all the opponents attack only you versus each other. And I want to know maybe what that choice was. Was it for difficulty? Was it just, you know, trying to pad the length of the game to make it harder? You know, it's hard to say, but I think having like a choice would be great. Cody, thank you. How you doing? Welcome to me getting my ass handed to me, just sorely. But yeah, I think that if there was a choice, like let's say you load up Deathmatch and just have a slider that says yes or no should enemies hit each other, you know, it would be a nice option to have. Because I think some people do prefer the, you know, the higher difficulty, like it's me versus the world, you know, because I think that's how most, like, you know, games go. But yeah, I think that'd be a good mode to have for sure. I also played TM1 and played as Roadkill in a couple of times. Maybe even played the game with him once or twice, I don't remember too well. I think it's a fairly forgettable vehicle as far as, you know, like it's just a great junker car in a world full of like these massive, whimsical, you know, machines of death, and like a Darkseid, a Sweet Tooth, Mr. Slam later on. You know, so Roadkill gets a little bit forgotten about, I feel like, but I like it. I think it's just a good balance. It feels like a good all-rounder sort of car. Roadkill Special on TM1 is one of the best. I'm trying to think what that was, because every time I think of Roadkill Special, it's always the one from Twisted Metal 3, which is just like basically like an upgraded mortar. I'm trying to think what it is. It's probably just like a fucking missile or something, right? It's gotta be. Gang. Wallace, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm shocked at the amount of people that are stopping by on a 4th of July. You know, I don't have as many opportunities to stream, I think, as I would, you know, like, because I want to take this, you know, content stuff as seriously as possible. But of course, there's other things in my life that, you know, I need to, you know, be present with and take care of and stuff, like work and family and stuff. But these holidays, these weekends are kind of the only times that I have to stream. But of course, for a lot of people, that's the time that they have to do, you know, their stuff with their families and work and that. So I appreciate you guys, you know, choosing to spend your time with me. It just means a lot. Oh, your TV went out after 2 years. That sucks, man. Yeah, I mean, modern technology. You know, I mean, I can put my tinfoil hat on right now, but it does feel like there's sort of a, you know, a planned shelf life or planned obsolescence for these things. Back in the day, you'd have a TV that lasted for like 20 years, you know, just an absolute tank. And then now you buy a TV and it's, you know, shuttered after 2 years. It's a shame. Good evening and happy 4th to anyone who cares and hasn't had the holiday ruined by random fireworks. Yeah, that's the worst part about 4th of July to me. You know, like tackle me, like call the police on me, whatever. I don't care. Like, I don't like fireworks as a concept. I don't know. As a kid, like, of course you're excited because it's just like stimulation, you know, just bright, loud noises. But I don't know, as an adult now, I'm just like annoyed that, like, at 11:30 p.m. there's just explosions. I don't know, it's just very bizarre. But I also won't ever say that you shouldn't do it yourself. If you have fun doing it, by all means, fucking go nuts. Blow your hand off. I don't want to stop you. Maybe in a new Twisted Metal, they should have modern difficulty and classic difficulty options. Modern AI attacks each other more frequently. Classic difficulty. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just give more options to the player. I think is a huge thing. That I think the game that did it the best, as far as like giving the player as many options as possible, was Twisted Metal 3. So if you guys remember this is actually like really hard. I don't think I killed anyone. All right, I'm gonna switch to a different character. Let's make this easier. Worst case scenario, I'll just rip out Juggernaut and just forget about it. But Twisted Metal 3 gave you like options. I think you got to pick your opponents. You got to pick like, is there health pickups available, or you know, is every pickup a power missile or whatever. If I remember correctly, that might have been TM4. But it just gave you a lot of control over like how you play the game versus like this game, the most new, the most modern game in the series. These are all the options I get. I can pick the game mode, which is basically just, you know, regular deathmatch, 1v1, or max cars endurance. Fine, you know, and then you get the map selection. There's different variations of the maps. Those are cool. And then you have difficulty, and then I have health semi, traffic, or pedestrian. That's it. That's the only options you get. I'm going to keep it on, there. Let's do Metro Square, normal difficulty, just to make this a little more doable. Death Warrant or TA. I assume TA is Talon. I'll do Death Warrant, though, because I do enjoy that. That's the first car I ever played in Twisted Metal 2012, was that demo that came out like 2 weeks before. Talon the Airplane did. Yeah, the AI is not scripted at all to deal with the Z-axis, you know, any vertical axis. So that'll be definitely one that I have to cheese with, for sure. Speaking of Roadkill Special in TM3, they saw that Primeval has access to all the specials in the game, but it's really a combo of Roadkills and Mr. Grimm's. I've seen it in gameplay footage of TM3. Yeah, you're definitely right, and that's something that I fell victim to, I think, when I made the short. You know, like one of the YouTube shorts where I was talking about, you know, the final bosses of Twisted Metal. You know, I mentioned that Primeval, because, you know, a lot of information I go off of is either just off of memory, or, you know, if I have to, I'll utilize the Twisted Metal wiki, which is somehow like well kept up. I mean, it's certainly no like Fallout or Elder Scrolls wiki, but it's well maintained, I think. So I use that sometimes. But the wiki did say, like, you know, he has access to every special, and so I kind of trusted them on that. The comment section disagrees, and it's only a few specials he can use, but they're to kind of combine together to make it like an ass whooping. So. Winters, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. Yeah, the demo for this game that came out, I think it was like February 1st or something. It was like very early February, like 2 weeks before the game came out. And you got to play one map and one vehicle in one mode. It was Deathmatch with Death Warrant on Tropical Sun Springs, California, and boy howdy was I addicted, like, moment one for playing that game. Just the speed, the intensity, just really spoke to me. So I'm really glad I got to play that demo before the game came out. I'm behind on the chats here. Well, when we do fireworks after midnight, then it gets annoying. Yeah, definitely. Let people have their fun, you know. Like, for me, it's like 10:30, 11 is kind of like when I'm like, all right, guys, let's settle down. But if it's after midnight, I'm like ready to go outside, like screaming, like, come on, what are we doing? And I'm someone whose schedule is like fairly late. Like I go to sleep probably 1 or 2 a.m. most nights just because I work a later shift. And so if I'm saying, you know, cut it out, then I think for the people that are waking up at like 5, 6 in the morning, they're probably screaming in their households. Yeah, just be courteous, guys, come on. Or just go out to the desert, like go out where there's like a place no one can hear it, and just go nuts. Don't do it in the suburban neighborhood. What are we doing? I want to love this game more, but there's not that much content. I mean, to be fair, Chloe, you know, I don't think there's enough content in this game compared to, like, you know, TM2 or 3 or whatever. But you can make your own content. Like, the stuff is there. If you wanted to make your own tournament mode, just go to Deathmatch and then just change the map every time. You know, just go through the circuit of maps. And by the end, you'll have a whole tournament put together. And then use your imagination to make stories. So there you go. Boom, fixed it. I like a professional show for fireworks in big places where they have something unique to show, but the small ones that blow up outside my window on my street, not so much. Exactly. Like, obviously, like, it can be impressive. If there is, you know, a budget and a team and, like, you know, permits and stuff behind it to make it crazy, you know, great. You got a good show there. But, I don't know, you basically, like, a big show like that is like an arena show, you know, for like a concert. Like, let's say it's Metallica or Iron Maiden, you know, putting on a fucking show for you. And then these people, like, will just go to, like, you know, the shack outside the grocery store, you know, running it that way. They're basically like the local band, like at the dive bar, like playing for 7 people. You know, it's just not good quality show. Like, but the difference is that bar show only affects the people in that bar. In those 4 walls, you know, you're responsible for being there. But these fireworks, it doesn't matter where you are, you hear them everywhere. Yeah, courtesy in America, yeah, it's hard to come by. You know, I don't want to say that as like a full thing. Like, there are people who are just trying to have fun. You know, like, and we understand it's the 4th of July. Like, being uncourteous would be like doing it on like July 10th at like midnight. I think that would be maybe too far. I don't know, there's got to be a balance. Like, let's have some fun, but let's also like not be a total asshole constantly. It's all about multiplayer. If there's no multiplayer, this game is just okay. Yeah, and unfortunately, this game never got a multiplayer going. Like, the ball never got rolling. It had the quality of gameplay for it. It just didn't have the infrastructure for the network or whatever, you know, to give us a solid experience, which is really unfortunate, man. I love this game for everything it does. The story, the gameplay, the levels. It's all very well thought out. Like, I see the effort. It's just, you know, one crucial thing they fucked up, and that was the netcoding or whatever, like the way it connects to the internet. Just an absolute garbage, like, dumpster fire. Speaking of courtesy in America, we went to Walmart earlier today, and the people there were at least polite, like saying excuse me and all that. Like, should that be that rare? Like, should you be that, like, would that even be worth bringing up, you know, in like 30 years ago? Like, oh yeah, someone said please and thank you and excuse me. Like, that wouldn't even be like a point of conversation. That would just be like, that'd be like saying, oh yeah, I breathed air today. I inhaled oxygen. I ate food. Like, yeah, we know, dude. Very sad. I probably sound like a boomer there, but, like, I don't know. I try to mind my manners, you know. I just expect the world to do the same, that's all. Nothing crazy about that, right? I'm too bored to pay attention. Mr. Vix, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Like, once again, guys, just you guys sharing your 4th of July with me really means a whole lot. You know, especially, I haven't done a stream in, like, 2 weeks. Like, or at least, like, a solo stream. We did one with Winters, yeah, about 2 weeks ago or so. You know, but I haven't really done one on my own in quite a while, and I'm kind of nervous to come back. But you guys make it easy. Now, we're well on our way to our tactical nuke. I have nothing planned for when the tactical nuke drops. It's just going to be like an internal celebration. I'm just going to like be like, oh cool, great. But if I was a professional, I would have like sound effects and stuff. Like, you guys remember the MW2 like tactical nuke inbounds sound effect? Like the guy fucking screaming. I would love that shit. It'd be great. I just realized that in story mode the health bars are red, but in deathmatch they start as green like normal. Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about. Because if you're talking about my health bar, I mean, if you're saying, is that a joke, like that I'm getting damage right away? But yeah, I think, in my experience, the health bar shouldn't change. It shouldn't change color unless you're taking damage. You have a Discord to play people online, but it's kind of pointless because only top players play to get decimated. Yeah, that sounds like most games in their communities. I don't know, like after the initial buzz happens to a game, unless it's like Call of Duty or Battlefield, like, you know, the first few weeks, I think Titanfall kind of succumbed to that, where it's like, you know, the first few months of the game, it's like everyone's having fun, you know, everyone's on the same skill level, but then after a while, you know, only the sweats remain, and every time you log in, you just get destroyed. My neighbor screamed fast forward. Yeah, it's, I mean, have your fun, but just, good God, like, people got work tomorrow. Oh, I hear a firework right now. I hope it's not audible on stream, but yeah, just heard one go off. Great. Courtesy is free, yeah. But I think when you have to spend effort, I think that's where people maybe stop. You know, it's much easier to just disregard other human beings. You know, you can just go about your life never thinking about, you know, another human being outside of your family. Just easier that way. I hate it, but just the way people are. Anyways, from looks of things, the TM2012 version of Freeze Missile is like an electrical weapon rather than an ice-based weapon. Yeah, it makes more sense. I mean, if this game's going for like a slightly more realistic and grounded like art style, you know, to have like a Freeze Missile that like literally freezes the car, you know, maybe it doesn't make as much sense as perhaps like, you know, an EMP that will shut down the car's motor, weapons, and all that. It's a small change, but functionally it acts the same. Oh my god. Just die real quick. Good god, just die. Just die. What are we doing here? Never noticed that, Cody. I mean, Cody might be right. I just don't... I can't recall that myself. Maybe he's right, though. I don't think I ever got the kill streak necessary to get the nuke in MW. I mean, look, I didn't either, but I've had it happen to me multiple times. Or, of course, you look it up on YouTube. Like, you're curious. You know, you don't have to do it yourself to experience it. You know, I didn't play every ending in Twisted Metal, or play the game to get every ending, but I certainly know all about the magic of YouTube. And same goes for that tactical nuke, 100%. Is Roadkill still alive? I feel like I gotta take him out, so... We are now, nearly there. And opponent's killed. 1.5 more of what we just did. Let's get it. So great. I'm saying the enemy's health bar is a different color for story mode the death matches or same things. Yeah, look, you got me questioning my reality now, so let me think about this. No, look, we can fire up story mode after this is done. Like, I want to settle this, you know. Like, I feel like I'm the expert on this game as far as our community goes, so, like, I don't want to be wrong here. The experts stay and it raises lower any curve just due to it not staying. It's their fault, just nature, things like that. Yeah, 100%. I don't blame people for just, like, you know, mastering the game that they love. You know, it just, when that's all that remains, it's harder for more people to, you know, come in and learn. Like, those people that are masters at the game, I don't think they became that way because they immediately played all the sweats and all, like, the major players right away. Like, they played the scrubs and the people who are, like, just barely getting to know the game, the controls and stuff. You know, so, like, their barrier to entry was much, much lower. But again, it's not their fault, it's just how it went. I mean, there's probably a few games, like, I think fighting games kind of fall that way for me too. Like, you know, to play online for a fighting game, like, you pretty much have to already be a master of the game, but, you know, playing against AI and stuff is really not the same as playing against, like, a human opponent. You know, because the AI is either super cheap or totally brain dead. Like, there's no in between. Hey, Des, hope you're happy you're alright. Happy 4th. Happy 4th to you too, D. Jones. I appreciate you coming out. And fireworks are starting to go into the air. Fuck America's skies with their exploding bright lights. Oh boy. Yeah, I hope it's not going to be audible on stream, because, like, I don't want to have half this fucking audio be unusable because there's just, like, an explosion in the sky. God bless America, fellas. So great. If I lose this because someone snipes me, I'm going to be fucking pissed. The worst way to go in this game. The spawns in this one could be better. I had a bot spawn right behind me at the beginning. It would only happen in this mode, right? Because I don't think there's any, like, bot respawning unless it's, like, max car's endurance. And maybe that was kind of an afterthought. It's like, oh shit, cars have to like enter the game again? Oh shit. Yeah, we gotta figure something out, so just plop them wherever. Kamikaze Crimson Fury. Oh, you know what, hey, look, we're supposed to be doing a wish list here, fellas, so let's get down to business. So I saw someone said Hammerhead and Darkseid for TM1. And I'm not opposed to that because I think that was one of the few times Hammerhead was useful in the franchise. So if we're gonna like put on this, you know, this cosmic version of Twisted Metal that's, you know, a combination of everything, I think that'd be a version of Darkseid or of Hammerhead that I want to include. So I'm down for that one for sure. Hammerhead, not so much Darkseid. I feel like Darkseid had a better version elsewhere, so I don't want to, you know, waste a roster slot on that. Yeah, if I was going to be there for hours, that's terrible, dude. I'm sorry. Thomas, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you making your presence known. Really means a lot. So far, so good. So 13 now. Kamikaze is nearly destroyed. I could probably take out Roadkill quickly enough if I can get my sniper to just be cooperative. Come on. There we go. There's a snipe. Who are we? The AI? Because that was cheap as hell. What a weird weapon the sniper is. Same, but it gets worse as it gets darker. Yeah, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but just, you know, for me, I live in, you know, the West Coast. So right now it's 8 p.m. for me. It's not quite dark out yet. So to hear what I hear now is like, it bodes not well for what might come later. Thumper should have been here instead of Kamikaze. I agree with you actually, because there's already like Kamikaze. It's sort of a mix between like Thumper and Spectre. It feels like it has the speed of Spectre, but the special of Thumper. But there's already Crimson Fury. Like, you already have a flamethrower-based weapon in this game. Like, why do you have to waste a roster slot on that? Like, I think the design of Kamikaze is cool, but I would rather have a Thumper. It was like a more unique design. You could maybe, you know, use a Sonic Blast or whatever, or give Kamikaze or Crimson Fury, you know, give them their, you know, their red laser thing that they have a Twist Metal one. Like, why the flamethrower? That's what I don't get. And we're in tough straits here because I'm very much close to dead. No, don't ruin this for me. Oh god, yeah, I really got to get help like bad.
Death is imminent.
The health truck. Are they in the ocean or like? Oh no, the health is on the bridge above. Okay, I see. Your health is low, you need to find help. Oh my god, just the absolute worst. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to health. Come on. Come on, Death Warrant. Death Warrant to me is fantastic as far as like its speed versus armor. Like, it has the speed of almost, not quite, but almost like a Kamikaze, but the armor of like, I don't know, I guess its armor is not quite like Outlaw or anything, but I don't know, it's a good balance to me. I love it. I'm really trying to focus on getting this. I'm at 15 now. I don't want to ruin it. That is fair. It's not use a slot on TM1 Darkseid, but I feel using TM1 Roadkill would block out superior versions of TM2. That's a good point as well. Yeah, the thing about TM1 is that every one of those vehicles minus Pit Viper appeared in a different Twisted Metal game, so it's like, I don't think any version of TM1 is the superior version except for Hammerhead, so I feel like that one's fair. Roadboat armor, I don't know if it's as much armor as Roadboat. That seems like a lot. Roadboat's a tank, dude. But yeah, I would say close to it at least. Yeah, so like TM1 would be kind of hard. Like, Warthog was not its best. Darkseid was not its best. Roadkill, same. That's interesting. Not Grim. Definitely not Grim. Yeah, TM1's going to be hard, I think, but for sure Hammerhead. I think that's one I would pencil in as Hammerhead. There's only 13 cars. Maybe Thumper. Thumper was pretty good in that game. I don't think, like, their best version is not much better than what appears in TM1. It was pouring rain near my house and they canceled the show. I left the lake at the same time that show was starting, not a fan of fireworks. Yeah, that's gotta suck. You know, you're at the mercy of the elements for sure. You know, and for a place like where I'm at, it doesn't rain a whole lot, so like, that's almost never like a threat. Of like, if there's clouds in the sky, we're like not gonna plan our whole day around it. But I'm assuming for places that, you know, rain happens more often, yeah, it's gotta suck. The armor feels like Meat Wagon. That's a good one. Yeah. Because Meat Wagon, I don't know, like, it doesn't feel that fast or that nimble. It's the only thing it's got going for it is its special is like super powerful as long as you like do the manual mode. But when you do that, you're completely defenseless. So it's like you kind of miss most of the benefit of it, I feel. Where would Spectre be in this, though? I think Spectre would have to be a 63 Corvette. I know you didn't ask me, Wallace, you're asking Cody, but I'm with Cody. The Corvette. Go to the classic design. So with that, I'm trying to get this health. But I think my favorite version of Spectre is that Dodge Viper, that blue Viper. I know it's not the definitive version, it's not the version that appeared the most, but good God, is it cool. It's just the best. So I would say that when we get to TM3, that's when I'd be considering. Okay, so let's talk about levels then. Because Suburbia is like an easy one for me for that game. Love Suburbia. The rooftops level is also great. But the Riverside Rumble, the Freeway Free-for-All, those ones are not that great to me. Like, I could do without those forever. They're not that appealing. But the Suburbia, I feel like that's like the most recognizable one in that game. So I think you can't have TM1 represented without that, for sure. I could probably do this, I think. Like, health is doing alright. I got a few enemies down low. I can probably do it. I just don't use the special. Like, the special on Deathborn kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. Maybe we choose the best vehicles from the games and theoretically would rename any that share the same name. I mean, we could do that, especially the versions are, like, vastly different from one another. For instance, like, Warthog and Twist Metal 2 versus Black, like, they share a name, but that's the only thing they share. Like, nothing else really carries over. So I can definitely see that. But I wanted to limit it to 2 per game so we can, you know, really nail down the 2, like, most in-demand vehicles. Not maybe the best, you know, because of course it'd just be Minion every time or whatever. You know, just the ones that people want to see the most. But also, I don't want it to be like we choose, like, Mr. Grimm, you know, 8 times out of 8. That would feel like you don't want a roster full of just different versions of Grimm. Getting out of free stun by using boost would be better too, like from TM1. No button mashing or destroying or bunny hopping. Is that how TM1 works? You use the boost? Because that is kind of a good idea. Like, you know, then you can kind of decide if you want to... Oh, thank God this is TM2012. That would have killed me. But yeah, I think you're right. Like, you know, if you give that risk reward of like, okay, do I want to use boost to get out of this freeze? You know, the boost is a little bit more limited in that game, I feel like. So I think it would be more of like a, you know, risk assessment. Okay, Kamikaze, you gotta stop camping that health pickup, dude. Away he goes. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. That'd be a cool feature to have. Because for me, like, what I was thinking, like, in my head before starting this, like, the one intangible characteristic I would want to choose from TM1 would probably be, like, its grounded art style. Like, it feels like a real world, or it sort of represents a real world, versus, like, every game after was always, like, some, like, heavily, like, you know, like a heavy art design. Whether goofy or dark or whatever, like, it wasn't trying to be realistic, and I think TM1 was. You know, it was trying to be the real world that you're destroying. For that fantasy of, like, destroying the familiar. But I think we're going gameplay mechanics. That's definitely one of them. We're almost there, 22. All right, Shadow. So we have Napalm's great. Let's use that. We'll probably finish off Shadow pretty easy. Let's try 4 for me. What did I miss? Oh, crap. I'll take Shadow over Meat Wagon. Oh, 100%. Yeah, like, that's the thing about this game is, like, yeah, the roster's huge, but, like, half the cars are basically just, like, I don't know, like, they're kind of the same as other cars. Like, Shadow and Meat Wagon feel very similar as far as, like, their, you know, aesthetic and sort of the way their specials work. You know, at least in theming. You know, you have, like, a guy strapped to a gurney versus a guy strapped to a coffin. Like, it's kind of a bit samey there. You have Deathborn and Roadkill have, like, identical specials. Kamikaze and Crimson Fury are basically the same. Can you not? Gotcha. Fucking sniper, get out of here. Alright, we'll probably laser Grim. There we go. Alright. Fellas, tactical nuke, inbound. That's 25, great. We did it. I wonder if I could do this on hard. Because, like, this is on normal. It's a bit easier. Guys take me out. Come on, coward. It'd be cool if there was, like, some form of kill streaks in these games. You get, like, 5 kills in a row, you get the, I don't know, mega guns, or you get 10 kills in a row, you get, like, a fucking Predator missile you get to call in. That'd be kind of cool. 25 kills, you get a tactical nuke. Completely levels the field. Everyone dies. I would associate the Viper with Test Drive 5. First to the point where Spectre was in TM3. It feels like handheld. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I never played the Test Drive games up until Unlimited came out in like 2006 or whatever. So I don't have any like strong memories of those games. But I loved Unlimited. I'm surprised, like, you know, sort of imprinted itself that strongly on you. Maybe you turn the volume down a little bit. It's hard to hear you over the game. The game, or hold on, because my monitoring is perhaps not great. The music or the game? They are separate at this point. Tactical nuke inbound. Getting a tactical nuke in nuke mode. Yeah, right? Yeah, I'll turn the music down just a bit. We'll start with that. Yeah, thanks for letting me know if the audio gets a little out of whack. It's hard to know exactly what you guys are listening to over there. Real world that slowly becomes horrible by the contest, like what me and Dr. Bad Guy were talking about. I would like to see that. I would like to see like a Twisted Metal game that isn't car combat, it's just like a very slow, like thoughtful tromp through some like psychological horror. You know, where it's like Marcus Kane slowly becoming Sweet Tooth, just like his mind completely getting just eaten away by this demon of Sweet Tooth. Maybe it starts out as like a TM1 sort of thing where it's like realistic and grounded, but as the game progresses, like the world keeps like tearing away at itself until it becomes like Twisted Metal Black. I think that'd be pretty cool. And just for you, Cody, we're gonna test what you said, those health bar colors, because I'm actually very curious now. Yeah, slowly becoming wacky like TM2 due to how much we changed life with our battles. That's true. I did like both. You're getting drowned out on my end. Okay, my bad. Let's fix this. Let's fix this. That should be better. Like, if I can read audio signals, this should be okay. Let me know. I'd love to get Transylvania again for a level. That's a level I don't think about too much, to be honest with you. Alright, for this story mode, we'll do road boats. Let's do kamikaze. And let's throw in a little bit of shadow in there just for fun. How about that? Love it. Yeah, rooftop combat and Suburbia would be my choice for levels, but I'm biased from playing these maps in TM2 Deathmatch. Yeah, I mean, those are the two best maps in my opinion. I don't think you can choose two maps from Twisted Metal 1 and have it not be those. It's like, Suburbia is iconic to me. It's just fantastic. Alright, so for Twisted Metal 1, for me, I'd say Hammerhead and... damn, I can't think of the second vehicle. And then we have Suburbia and Rooftops for my two levels, and then the intangible quality I would say is... For me, it's the grounded environment, or the grounded world, but the sort of, like, freeze missile you get out of it with the boost, that cut's kind of cool, too. Alright, let's move on to TM2. What do we want to see in TM2? Because vehicles-wise, I love Axel. Like, that version of Axel is by far my absolute favorite. Okay, they're red. Okay, so the red here, they were green? In Deathmatch? Damn good. I mean, if that's true, Cody, great eye. Ooh, TM1 Yellow Jacket, there you go. In every way, like, the style of the vehicle, the special where he yells, yeah, every time, yeah, every time you throw it, fantastic, love it. And then the ending. The lost ending is just absurd. Sounds good to me, baby. Love it. Happy 4th of July. Charlie McNeilson, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Darkseid definitely needs to come back. I agree with you, but only certain versions of it. I prefer the version from Black, and maybe the one in 2012 are my two favorites. But yeah, Black, TM2 Axel is by far my favorite version of Axel. Just, he's enormous. Like, he has no business being as big as he is. Versus, like, every other version of him, he's like a normal dude. But no, TM2 is like an actual god. One pet peeve I have with Axel is it seems that the wheels on him were smaller than his appearances in TM2. You were big in TM2. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like this game, for instance. Let's go to like a civilian car, and let's see if Cody's right. Cody is right. Wow. Yeah, they're the death bar or the health bars. The health bars are red in story mode versus green in deathmatch. So great job, Cody. Great eye. Turns out I'm a fool. I'm an idiot. So let's see. Let's find some. Okay, here's a good example. Here's a door. Well, there was a door. It's gone now. Here's a piano. Like, piano seems properly scaled, I suppose, like, given our driver's size. And thanks, everyone, for destroying my things. But yeah, I think Yellow Jacket and Hammerhead would be my two drivers from my two vehicles from TM1. I'll solidify that now. Those are my two choices. TM2, I would say Thumper and Axel are my two favorites. But I can see Shadow being part of that. I can see Roadkill. I can maybe see... No, not Sweet Tooth. I think TM Black Sweet Tooth is going to be, like, the iconic. Because you have to assume that the drivers and vehicles are going to be tied together. So not only are you getting the gameplay part of it, but you're getting the character as well. You know, so for Black Sweet Tooth, I think that automatically trumps any, like, TM2, TM3 versions. It's interesting how in almost all the Yellow Jackets get offered powers beyond humanity despite never actually asking for anything or wanting something simple. I think, yeah, in TM1, his story was like he just wanted to keep driving. He's like, yeah, I just entered this vehicular murder contest because I just like, you know, being behind the wheel of a car. You know, that's Calypso's like, oh, great, yeah, I need a guy to be driving. Here, drink this potion. You'll live forever as long as you just keep driving for me. And he's like, oh, great, sounds great. So, yeah, I think you're right. Although, Yellow Jacket's only appeared in 2 games. Like, he was only in 1 in Black. Right? Yeah. And in Black, he was dead. He wasn't even alive. Hard to ask for much there. But, yeah, they didn't even ask for anything in that game. They just wanted, like, a place for the kid and his dad to, like, just exist. And that was the whole deal. And Calypso's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to kill your dad, but, you know, you gotta run my contest now. I'll be your dad. Or whatever. This compilation of traits and cars from franchise will make a good video. That's my idea here, is that I want to use, you know, you guys, you know, you're my audience, you're my community, my chat, you know, informing me, is that if I wanted to make that video, I don't want it to just be my dumb thoughts, you know, let's work through this together, you know, so I want your guys' thoughts and opinions. But yeah, TM2 for sure for me is Axel and Thumper, but I do see a Spectre, I do see a Roadkill, some Shadows in there, like just very, very different vehicles there. No one's saying Twister, so I don't know what that says about her, but she only appeared in 2 games, so you only got 2 chances with her. Versus Grim and Shadow, you got a lot of chances, so, In TM2, Charlie King gets a slightly bigger vehicle. Yeah, just by a little bit, though. It's hard to tell the difference, really. Same color and, you know, size and everything, yeah. Yeah, what a weird choice that was, too. Like, to make, I don't know, like, the bosses in Twisted Metal never really make sense to me as far as, like, the reason they exist. You know, like, in Twisted Metal 1, it's supposed to be like, oh, it's Minion, he won last year's contest. But, like, why is he returning to be a boss? Like, when you win these games, is there, like, some stipulation that, like, okay, I'll grant you a wish as long as you come back next year to be a boss? Like, why is it Minion that comes back? Never made sense to me. And then, like, in Twisted Metal Black, I think, like, Minion showed up again, but he's not part of the tournament, I guess. And then Warhawk, same thing. He's just a guy that shows up in his fuck-off helicopter just to ruin your day. You know, Cousin Eddie, I think his ending in the game, like, basically confirms that, like, he has no business being there. He just kind of showed up. Like, why are there so many bosses that, like, Calypso's like, oh, fuck, where do they come from? It's just, I don't know, it's very strange. Because that would imply that, like, the best vehicles and the best drivers, like, you're a boss, they're assuming there's some level of being better than you. You know, so why are all the best, like, drivers and vehicles not even part of this tournament? Like, couldn't you do a better job at, like, you know, talent selection? You know, scouting these people? Like, come on, Calypso, what are you doing? I wouldn't mind Twisted coming back. She was a good one. I guess you mean Twister, but yeah, she was great. I mean, I think, like, a Formula 1 car is very cool. I'm pretty partial to, like, the race car designs of some of these vehicles. You know, like Crazy 8 and Twist Metal Black comes to mind. Is like, I just like the style. It just looks cool. And Twister's definitely part of that club. The problem with Twisted Metal is the stories are always rebooting and there's very little continuity. They need to start having more concrete stories. I definitely agree with you. That's why the wishlist video that I had a couple weeks ago, or was it last week? No, it was Wednesday. It was this Wednesday. Good God. You know, where I kind of said, like, if you're going to have a story, like, you know, do what Mortal Kombat did. Make it a cohesive, coherent, consistent story. You know, it doesn't have to be, like, the greatest thing ever written, but just, I don't know, make it make sense. And then if you want to have your arcade mode where you do a tournament and get, like, a specific ending for your driver, hey, great, do that. But don't make that the whole game, you know, because those get rebooted and changed and stuff. Like, I don't know, people want to connect emotionally to your story. You know, so, like, give them a reason to care. You know, but if you basically say, like, oh, that was last game, this is this game, so now, you know, Minion's a demon. He's not a, you know, a guy with a bullhead on or whatever. Minion being a living crash test dummy made out of leather that drives an armored garbage truck would be neat. I mean, why does it have to be Minion? Why can't they just be like a guy? Why can't they just be Daddy DeVito from TM4? For Twister, my mind goes to Head On before TM2. Is that really true? Wow. So I think most people would probably go with, like, anything in TM2 would be what comes to mind first over Head On. Just, oh, double kill, right? Hey, that was easy. Now let's take a look at the stats here. We have damage done by me, 900, and damage done by everyone else at most was 216. Bonkers. Alright, let's go to a different map. We've done these a little bit more than I'd like to. Let's do Diesel City is always fun for me, so let's do a little bit of that. Twister and Crazy 8 being in the same game sounds so alien. Here's hoping we see a good-ass roster and a new one. I think that's the main thing, you know, like, when you're playing the game, you want the mechanics to be good, but I don't know, if you're going to be staring at the back of Axel or Shadow or something, you know, for 20, 30 hours, I don't know, you want them to be good. I hope they don't fuck up the roster if there's ever a new game. But I feel like a new game would be very multiplayer focused, and so the characters wouldn't, it would kind of do what this game did, where, like, the vehicles are not tied to drivers anymore. Like, the vehicles kind of exist on their own, independent of any person behind the wheel. You know, so in that case, the vehicles definitely have to have a lot of character and a lot of personality on their own, you know, on top of being just good. Which I think the only game that really nailed that aspect to me was Black. Like, every other game in the series, it seems like the vehicles didn't have that much personality compared to Black. Maybe TM2, I guess, kind of did. But I don't know, just the way all the vehicles are, like, worn out and beat up, and they have armor, and, like, let's think of Brimstone from Twist Metal Black. Like, that car has so much character. Like, you don't even have to know who the driver is. You kind of get a sense of, like, who they are. So I think you need to have that level of character. Or at least make the cars, like, customizable to, like, add your own character to it. My brother's favorite vehicle in TM2 is Twister, and he is fairly lethal on her with her. I'm surprised. Like, I don't play too much of, I mean, look, I don't play much Twist Metal 2 in general. I think that's well established at this point. But when I do, like, the times that I've played Twister, I've been, like, just miserable. Just the way that, like, she can damage herself with her special. So, like, the one thing unique to her, like, her special, is a lot of times, like, you know, detrimental. Bro, you're my favorite TM YouTuber. That means a lot. Yeah, thank you. There's more than I thought there would be. Like, a year ago, you look at, like, the Twisted Metal YouTube landscape, it was barren, a barren landscape. But now it's like this, you know, bright, flourishing, vibrant community. You know, with Nick and Kongdu, Winters, Fiendly, I think, is coming back with their Twisted Monday and stuff. So, like, it's just a rich tapestry of people, part of this community. And so it means a lot to be your favorite among them. Mr. Viggs, have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. It really means a lot. Hope it's not too late for you. Hope the fireworks are not deafening wherever you might be. I'm glad Crazy 8 wasn't in the earlier Twisted Metal games. The special would be cartoonish boxing glove, I bet. Yeah, right? Yeah, because they couldn't take Outlaw. Couldn't take their special. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, if it was like a wacky, like, cartoony version of it, good god. Like, awful. Happy 4th. Hope you're doing good, man. I appreciate that, Royal. Yeah, everyone, happy 4th of July for everyone that's here. I don't know if I said that in a while, but yeah, thank you so much for spending your 4th of July with me instead of the fireworks. I think we're all we're all in agreement here that fireworks are not the best thing in the world. At least me, I don't know. I like a vendetta against them, man. I don't know. Shout out to this YouTube channel for making me want Goggle Eyes in a new Twist Metal game. I only chose Goggle Eyes in that video, not because he's my favorite. It turns out he actually is now. Like, after that playthrough, I'm, like, pretty into Goggle Eyes. But, like, I don't know. He wasn't my favorite to begin with, but I wanted the Dale Gribble. I just wanted more Dale Gribble in the video. Like, I found a compilation of, like, just Dale Gribble from King of the Hill. I'm like, fuck, I gotta find a way to use this. It's too good. So I appreciate you sharing that love with me. I like the Dollface in Black. A quiet, shy girl drives one of the loudest vehicles possible. And not only that, I think a lot of parts of her personality and her character is basically like, I'm shy and timid. You know, I'm a victim of this world. You know, I want to just, you know, hide away in, you know, a warm, cozy room. But she surrounds herself with, like, you know, leather with spikes and this Dollface and, you know, this massive truck with a police car stapled to the front. Like, every part of her character is basically just like, you know, I'm trying to shield myself from this world. I don't want the world to see me or be able to hurt me. And I can really relate to that. I really like that a lot. But that's a great point. They had personality in Black, but they tended to be a bit repetitive, in my opinion, and mostly focusing on murder, revenge, etc. Due to the game's theme, I feel like they had more variety in TM2 or Head On. You know, you're definitely right. You know, when you go that hard into, like, an art style, like, you really don't have a lot of room to mess around. I kind of, like... I guess what I liken it to is how, like, when you think of, like, you know, deathcore, metalcore type of music, you know, like, it's a very specific brand of, like, you know, heavy, you know, like metal music and stuff, versus, like, I don't know, Twisted Metal feels more like Twisted Metal 2 feels more like a more broader version of metal. You know, your hair metal, glam metal, your, you know, heavy metal. I don't know, like, let's say, like, you know, Iron Maiden, Anthrax, Metallica. Versus, like, I don't know, like, Twisted Metal Black feels like it's just, oh boy, I'm, like, drawing a huge blank on, like, metal bands right now, but I hope you get my point. Like, you know, like, Black sort of niched itself down to this dark environment that it really couldn't move around a lot in. It wasn't very flexible, whereas Twisted Metal 2, I think it kind of felt it had a bit more freedom to be wild. Dollface and Black, just juxtaposition of opposites. Yeah, definitely. You know, and I think contrast is a big part of emotion, if that makes sense. For instance, like Twisted Metal Black, I think what a lot of people don't like about it is that there is no contrast. It's just always dark all the time. Versus, I think, like, Twisted Metal 2 had a lot more contrast, where it could juxtapose that darkness. Like, there was a lot of dark humor and a lot of, like, really kind of upsetting themes on top of, like, kind of goofy and wacky and fun. And I think... yeah, Black like Meshuggah. Yeah, definitely. There you go. Meshuggah. Uh-oh. Hold on. What is this? This is not music. Alright. Let's do a different playlist now. Let's do TM2. Where's that at? Where's the TM2 soundtrack? This is like just the actual cutscene. Why? There we go. Twisted Metal 2 soundtrack. So let's throw it back. TM1 is thrash metal, TM2 is heavy metal, Black is death metal. There you go, perfect. Yeah, there's a lot more creative freedom in Twisted Metal 2, I think, versus Black. Not that there's, like, a problem with that, but just contrast, I think, plays a huge role in, like, how we experience things. You know, when you think of, like, a TV, for instance, you know, the resolution plays a big part, like the color accuracy and stuff, all that matters. But I think the most important part that people don't think about is, like, what we really want to see is, like, a difference between brightness and darkness, and that makes the picture look better than not. So, like, just the way we visualize things, like, maybe our brain's just wired to, like, want to see differences in our environment, you know. Awesome soundtrack, yeah. You know, so I think being able to juxtapose, like, two completely different ideas is, like, very powerful to us. And Dollface is an example in Black of someone who, like, doesn't really belong, and they stand out a lot more. And so that makes her story more impactful, I think. Dollface is one of my top 5 characters. Yeah, mine too. Not this game's version of Dollface. This game's Dollface kind of sucks, but Dollface in Black is absolutely one of my favorites. I like Raven more, I think, as like, just what I believe she represents. But yeah, Dollface is up there too, for sure. I can agree with the Kari Warrior. At the same time, I don't think they could do it any differently due to how airtight their consistency is in there. Oh boy, what did I miss? Hold on. Let me scroll up. Let me reference what's going on. Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah, TM2 and Adam, great. Bogmaster, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate your presence here. Once again, 32 people in the chat right now. 32 human beings right now spending their 4th of July watching me ramble on while playing Deathmatch on TM2012. With the concept, I thought we were going to be doing a wish list for 2012 or for Twisted Metal, and I'm just completely, like, rambling. Oh boy, I think it has something to do with the fact that I've taken 3 shots of, like, Screwball whiskey. If you guys ever heard of that, it's fantastic. Anyway, my brain is becoming mush by the minute. 3, 4 head-on are sort of bro metal, punkish. I can see that. 3 and 4 feel more like new metal to me. Like, I mean, you have Rob Zombie in there. Like, it's hard not to be that way. But it's like sort of a, you know, yeah, more punky, more new metal, like bro stuff. And I'm okay with that. I like that style. But I just think that they never really got to do anything more than that. Like, there's no story in 3 that hit like Axel's did in TM2 or like Grasshoppers did. Where it's like, oh shit, I thought this game was just like silly and fun, but like Axel's ending kind of like hurts my soul. I think that's where 3 and 4 went wrong, is they just never really... It was just always dumb. It was never like anything to juxtapose that. I like the destruction of this one better than Black's. Yeah, definitely. That's one thing that they got right, is like how effortlessly everything gets destroyed, and then like let's go in this alleyway here. There's an alleyway down here with some shit to knock over. Like, you just run into like a trash can and just like immediately blows into pieces. You know, you hit a civilian car and it just explodes on contact. Let's see this guy. Boom. Yeah, it's like you don't lose any speed running into stuff, and I think that really does. I think it really does help the impact of it. Be careful with Fireball whiskey, Drew. No, this is Screwball whiskey. This is different. It's similar, I suppose. Screwball is peanut butter whiskey, so it's whiskey with fucking not literal peanut butter, I hope, but it has that flavoring. Because I'm not a good drinker. Like, I don't handle alcohol especially well. Like, the taste is gross. So if you hand me something that doesn't taste like ass, you know, or like a dry erase marker, then I'm pretty into it. And Screwball is one of those things. I think Black was a good game and a nice one-time experiment, but it's not a direction I want the series to stay in. Yeah, I want to agree with you, like in an objective way, that I don't think it's sustainable to make a series out of that, you know, that emotion, like that darkness, that blackness. But I love it so much that like I just want to see more of that world, even if it's like a spin-off. You know, where it's like we talked about earlier with like a Marcus Kane, Sweet Tooth, like psychological horror. Just give me more of that world. Like, I don't need car combat. I just want more of that world. Let me just walk around and explore. I like TM2012 soundtrack. I think it needs something that will go with the tone, and if it's like the TV show, that I think some Primus along with some Tsunami style would mix pretty good. I think so too. This game does mix a lot of weird genres in its soundtrack. Like, not just its... Is this TM2? What? Hold on. Let me check. What fucking song is this? This is Moscow. Interesting. Interesting, okay. I was like, this sounds like head-on music or something. Okay. Cool. Yeah, anyway, no, the soundtrack in this game, it mixes like electronic and metal and rock in its OST and its licensed soundtrack. Like, there's even hip-hop in the licensed soundtrack. There's like NWA and like, I think there's like Cypress Hill in there somewhere too. It's like very bizarre. Like, it's jarring to like listen to like some AC/DC knockoff band, like Airborne or whatever, and then hear like NWA is like immediately after. It's like very... Like, variety is the spice of life, right? But I think that spice is like a gross one. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know, like the vibe of hip-hop does not mix with this brand of Twisted Metal. Like, if you had like a Midnight Club type of Twisted Metal, great, go for it. But like this game, I don't know, it doesn't really make much sense to me. If there's ever a successor to TM Black, it would be missed opportunity not to have AC/DC back in black. Oh, definitely. Yeah, AC/DC feels like the right vibe for Twisted Metal. Like, I kind of wish there was more like of that rock and roll style, because I think they went like really like wailing guitar, hair metal, you know, type like glam metal in TM2, which I would have much preferred like an AC/DC like hard rock. Kind of pop too. Like, AC/DC to me has like that nice catchy pop vibe to it too, and I think Twisted Metal would be it'd be right to go that direction. What's your favorite map, Drew? My favorite map, I suppose... Well, it depends on what game, of course. In this game, I like Diesel City. because it reminds me the most of Twisted Metal Black. But I also, Sun Springs, California is a classic to me. Like, I think if you're going to have a 2012 remake or any sort of game that includes a lot of different maps and cars and stuff, like, Sun Springs, California feels like the definitive 2012 map to me. I forgot to tell you that I'm making a painting based on Twisted Metal, but having my college destroyed. Oh, that's great. I'd love to see that. If you're in the Discord, which I'm pretty sure you are, please share that when you're ready, if you want to, if you're willing to. I would love to see that. 2012 has Avenged Sevenfold, which makes it the best by default. Oh, dude, yes. Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold feels like the modern, like, soundtrack for Twisted Metal. You know, like, you couldn't have Avenged Sevenfold in 1995, of course, but, like, yeah. 2005 on, you gotta have Avenged Sevenfold. Because they, to me, mix that feeling of, like, it's heavy, you know, it's metal, you know, but it's also kind of pop. It's kind of fun. It's a bit bro, you know. That sort of bro like party vibe. I think that to me fits. That screams Twisted Metal for sure. Yeah, that's you're 100% nailed it right there. I feel like 2012 could have been the best TM if they had story from the start. Yeah, you know, you're right. I think, you know, hypothetically yes, but I don't think they would have been right to make a story from the start. I think they had the right choice by saying, hey, let's make it multiplayer focused first. That's the only way you can survive to me in like a modern day, is you just go full on multiplayer. Unless you want to go like, you know, crazy budget and do what like Mortal Kombat 9 did, which was 2010, I believe, which is before. I wonder, because like Twisted Metal 2012 was in development for a long time, like a surprisingly long time. It seems like 2008 to like 2012, maybe even sooner than that. So like, they saw Mortal Kombat 9 midway through development, and that's when Sony came out and told them, hey, focus group says, you know, the focus group said, hey, let's have a single player component. So I wonder if Mortal Kombat 9 was like a big influence on that. If people were like, all right, yeah, multiplayer's cool, like, yeah, it's only, you know, online, and then Mortal Kombat 9 comes out. And then the focus groups and Sony were like, oh shit, you can do that for a fighting game? Oh my god. And then Sony's like, hey, here's some more money, here's some more time, go make a single player. I wonder if that's the case. Ice Nine Kills, that's one of my favorite bands for sure, Thomas. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, I love Ice Nine. I'm actually going to see them in a couple weeks. They're coming to my town. I'm actually super stoked to see them. But I think that they would work for Twisted Metal as far as like their vibe, you know. But like if you put one of their songs in Twisted Metal, it wouldn't fit because so much of their music is, you know, based on like horror movies and books and stuff. But like if they made like if they composed the soundtrack themselves, like they made music specifically for Twisted Metal, I think that would be absolutely perfect. What's the best thing from 2012 for modern TM? I think it's creativity with the multiplayer for me is the best thing. You know, like the different modes and like the ideas they had for the execution was you know, mediocre at best. You know, but the ideas were fantastic. I think all the gameplay, you know, elements that go into like how each vehicle has two different specials and like they kind of play a different role on a team, I think is important. Like the different modes, like Last Man Standing and Hunted, nuke mode would have been great. Like capture the flag with extra steps, sort of thing. So I think it's multiplayer ideas. I think could exist in the modern day. They just were done so poorly that we're like, no, don't ever do that again. Dang, Lucky Drew, enjoy the show. Thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited. And I get to see Knocked Loose in 2 months. I think it's in September, so 3 months. No, 2 months. Right? July? Yeah, 2 months. 2 months I get to see Knocked Loose with Motionless in White, so I'm pretty happy about that as well. You got to give us the stories. Yeah, that's pretty much what Sony did. You know, I think they were pretty set on like, hey, let's make the multiplayer good. You know, we'll make it a $20, $30 release and just give a good product out there. And Sony's like, nah, do what we say. Put a single player in there. Oh, Winters, thanks for becoming a member. That really means a lot. Yeah, thank you so much. I think I don't have alerts set up, so shit. Sorry. I'm a hack and a fraud, fellas. I'm on the wrong scene. If I do a split screen stream, we can wait for the thing to come up. So we'll chill here for a moment so we can have our sound come through. I don't think it's working. Anyway, thank you so much, Winters. It really does mean a lot to have your support. And anyone's support. Like, there's certainly no obligation to do a super chat or a membership or anything, but it does mean a lot when it does happen. Really makes me feel like I'm sort of a... Got memberships with no alerts. Yeah, no, I didn't expect to get any, you know? I was like, oh, I don't know anyone was even going to show up to this stream. I was like, oh, I'll be like 5 people. We'll all have a good time. But now there's 32 people, and you all are fantastic. And I'm also a complete mess right now, fellas. But I love you all. Thank you all for stopping by. The TM show looks like a comedy so far. No, it absolutely is a comedy. I think from conception to execution, it is a full-on comedy, for better or worse. It has the writers from Deadpool, the producer from Deadpool. Will Arnett is an executive producer who is a well-established, comedy producer. So it was just cool. You want Twisted Metal to have, some character, some fun, wacky elements and stuff. But if they do it the wrong way, comedy is very subjective. So it's easy for stuff to fall flat, and I know that well, given my last video. No, come on, Winters. Come on, Winters. Thank you so much for 10 memberships. That really means a lot, dude. Thank you so much. Let me try to add the alert box here. I was not expecting that, dude. Thank you so much. Brick Studios, thanks for stopping by. I hope you don't miss the memberships here. Goddamn, where's the alert box? No, don't let this slip by. I cannot find the alert box. Oh my god. Is it just, it doesn't exist? Is it just fake? Am I crazy? I'm about to just give up looking for it, but I want to. I'm gonna find it. Alright. Fuck it. Yeah, there's an alert box right there, so why is it not coming up the way it should? Interesting. What a way to go. Alright, I'm about to just give up looking for it, man. But, let's see, who got the memberships? We got, Enigmi, number 5, Thomas, Pogmaster, I See the Cult, Pogmaster, UAC. Well done. Well done being here for... There it is. Alert box. Goddamn. Why'd that take so long? Let's put that right in the middle. How about that? Thank you so much, Winters. Yeah, it really means a whole dang lot. To make this stream a memorable one. This is one that I thought I would like. It'd be a blur. I would be like a... Yeah, I did end up finding it. That I would slosh my way through it, somewhat drunk. Be embarrassing, but there it is. Speedy Urchin 441 became a member. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's all Winters, man. You guys are great. Wait, is the music not coming through now? No, Antarctica's just a very quiet track, turns out. I think we got to reset ourselves here. We're all very thankful for Winters, but we have a show to do. All right, I think we got to Twisted Metal 2. I need 2 vehicles, I need 2 levels, and I need 1 intangible quality that we would want to carry over into a new Twisted Metal game. So my guess for Twisted Metal 2 would be Axel, it would be Thumper. Levels, I would definitely not want Moscow. Moscow can fuck entirely off into the sun. I don't give a shit. Let's send it away. I like Paris, but I think the version head on is a better version of Paris. It's just like a more expanded version, so maybe not that. Let's think here. Holland, definitely not. Hong Kong. Like, honestly, for me, the Twisted Metal 2 maps, not that great. Not that great. Don't love it. Like, I mean, LA is fine, I suppose. Chaz Con Green, there you go. Yeah, thank you so much, Winters. I just hope the Joes aren't too juvenile. A song or a loud joke are very fine now and then. But I hope there's more than that. Oh, the jokes, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with, like, a more, like, animated, loud sort of comedy. I can't spell my own username. How do you pronounce your username? That's where I'm stuck at. Like, I did not want to butcher it, but I think you give me no choice. It's just tough. But yeah, jokes, it's really hard to make a joke that lands for everyone. But I do trust the Deadpool writers to make it happen. But just what we've seen so far with the different trailers that have come out, it's really hard to like the show. You know, the whole like singing Thisco's thong song. Like on paper, that's probably a joke that I would think of. Not that I'm like a professional comedy writer, which I guess maybe speaks to what I'm saying. It's like that's a joke that if I can come up with it, it's probably not a good joke. Yo, let's have them in a dumb casino. All right, there's Anthony Mackie. And then Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth, he's this menacing, gross serial killer. He's gonna fuck him up, right? But what if right before he fucks him up, Cisco's thong song? So I don't know, just land for me. Wish it could have gone, gave you TM1 Lost Angles retrospectives with Jaffe, Des, but you have to be a member to see it, even if someone sends a vid. I think I have seen it. Like, if he did it more recently, I probably haven't, but I remember a couple years ago he did do the exact same video, where he watched the videos with his audience, like live. And I can remember some of the takeaways from that. The most notable takeaway I can think of is that the woman tied up in Sweet Tooth's car is his wife or his girlfriend at the time. I think they end up getting married. I think it's the mother of his children. I think that's the only thing I took away from that video that I saw. So that there's me giving away some members-only information. I wanted to stream tonight, but I decided to learn how to make shorts. Well, I'm glad you did, because it helped me a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people, I hope a lot of people that are watching this live stream have seen my shorts. You know, it's a great way, I think, to quickly get content out to people. It's something that helps you grow your channel. It pushes it to more people very quickly. You know, so I'm glad you're taking that step. Although, I haven't really mastered what, for anyone curious, Winters just uploaded his first short about, I don't know, 2 hours ago or so, maybe a little bit longer. Where it's like a highlight of one of his videos, like sort of 15-20 second, you know, hey, check out what just happened, this crazy shit. And I don't know, I haven't really mastered that form of shorts yet. It seems like one that I can't really nail down in a way that I'm satisfied with, because for me, you know, the way I stream and do commentary and do videos and stuff, like, I would want to consider it more closely to like a guitar solo versus like, I don't know, like a breakdown in a song or something. I don't know. It just feels like it's more long, or like an orchestra. You know, it's slow burner. You know, there's not really moments that jump out as like, oh fuck, check that out. But Winters is definitely more of that, you know, animated, fun, like punchy style, in my opinion. So I think it works better for him than it does for me. It sounds funnier when you describe it, Des. Like, yeah, on paper, it's a great joke. Cisco's thong song in a casino by like a serial killer clown. Hilarious on paper. In execution, it's kind of like, dude, what the fuck? What are you doing? Like, if they're in the writer's room, like, thinking that up, they're probably laughing their ass off. Going nuts about it. But, like, you know, in execution, it's like, I don't know about that. It's engine number 5. I can't spell it to save my own life. Oh, okay. Great. I'm not crazy then. I was like, I don't know, like, I don't want to make fun of people's usernames and stuff if it's, like, something I don't understand. But I guess, okay. If you couldn't spell it, and I couldn't pronounce it, we're on the same page. We're on the same wavelength here. And as a member of mine, we can explore that relationship more together. Engine number 5, great. Also, I'm a bit embarrassed, too, because my member perks are limited at this time, because I think the biggest benefit I can give you as one of my members is like early access to videos and stuff, but I'm on the razor's fucking edge of like content creation as far as like I don't have much stuff planned in advance. Like if I upload a video, it's maybe like a day after I edited it, or a day before, I guess. So if I get ahead on my videos, then great, you can have it early, but otherwise, sorry. All you're doing is supporting me. But I'm trying, you guys. It's just, it is hard. I don't mean to sound like I'm complaining, but, you know, like making content, you know, for any amount of people, it feels like a lot of pressure when I can't spend my entire day doing it, you know, so I don't want to let the people who want to see my videos down, you know, but I also can't spend, you know, 12 hours a day, you know, just making sure I have content to give you guys. So I'm just trying to balance it all out to give you something worthwhile. Clips are your friend. The community can make clips and send it to you, which is cool. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I just don't know if I have many like clips-worthy moments, because I get so fucking distracted, like these live streams and stuff. Like I just want to read as much chat as possible and talk, and you know, have my alcohol at hand. So I think it's hard to like have any continuity with my fucking commentary. I remember seeing that stream. He also showed the unused intro and minion cutscenes as well as behind the scenes of it. Oh, I do remember that. Yeah. He showed us the Apocalypse 9 stuff, which is very interesting. I think that's all I remember. It was like his ex-wife was part of it, the Apocalypse 9, and then maybe had like a picture of like him and like Sweet Tooth or something. Roadkill needs to act a little better. I don't know, actually, because like we've only seen like a part of it. Like, I trust Anthony Mackie as an actor to get it right, you know. But I think like given that script, I think it'd be hard to be a good actor in that situation. Like, I don't know, to play it straight with like fucking Sweet Tooth like singing Cisco's thong song. Like, I don't know. Good luck. Maybe one day merchandise like Jaffe. Yeah, I mean Jaffe's had, you know, way more time and way more experience with like giving audiences things. You know, like producing things that people enjoy. You know, so I think for me to aspire to his level would take a bit of time. But maybe I'll have merch someday. Maybe Cocky the Cockroach will make an appearance one of these days on fucking T-Tree or something. TM3's Area 51 map would be awesome. More government weapons being shown off to like Blackbirds or hovering drone strike pickups. The UFO could be a secret Easter egg. That's a great idea. I think that's one map that does stand out to me from Twisted Metal 3. Like that, London. I don't like the North Pole, but like, I don't know, it still holds a place in my heart just because like, I don't know, like for some reason that Christmas gift box in the center, like you destroy Santa's house and it reveals that gift box. For some reason to me that's like etched into my brain. I just, very nostalgic for me. But objectively that map fucking sucks. Tokyo sucks. Let's see, what else? There's the blimp. I would want the blimp. The blimp and Area 51 would be my two choices, I think. So like the ones in V8 and Road Trip, Brandon. Leave that to you, Brandon. That's your question. Maybe Roadkill Chris Tucker, he could sell it. I don't like. I think my guess, if I had to like kind of guess what they're doing with the show, is like Anthony Mackie, from what I know from like him playing the Falcon or whatever. He's American. He's a Captain America now, but he's not a very like, you know, wild, wacky character. You know, so I think the idea is to have someone like him who kind of plays it straight, just very grounded, but have everything around him be so wild and absurd that the contrast of the two really is what sells it. Where I think if you have a character who playing John Doe, who is just as wacky as Sweet Tooth or loud or quiet or whatever the characters are, I think it won't punch as hard. You know, when Sweet Tooth sings Cisco's thong song. Yeah, I think you need a character like John Doe, who maybe isn't the funniest, you know, but he makes everyone else funnier because of how like straight he plays as a character. That was a good map, but the more Human Than Human remake sells it. Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, that's one thing that you cannot deny about the TM3 and TM4 games, the 99 games. The soundtrack were just absolutely nailed. Like that would be one thing. If I had to choose one intangible quality from Twisted Metal 3 or 4, would be the soundtrack. Just, I don't know, like, I don't feel like Twisted Metal would have taken off the way it did without the music. You know, whether it's the TM2 soundtrack or TM3 with Rob Zombie and Pitch Shifter and all that. I don't know. I think music is such a big part of gaming that when you think of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, you know, it's a great game. Absolutely. However, that soundtrack really is what pushes that game, I feel like. You know, GTA Vice City, you know, people talk about how cool of an open world it is, but its lasting impact, a lot of it's from that soundtrack, the 80s inspired soundtrack. Tokyo is great to me because the radar weapon absolutely creams enemies. Yeah, the environmental weapons from TM3, all of them, amazing. Like, the one on Area 51 is such a go-to for me just because it just melts opponents. Like, you want to speedrun the game? There you go. It's a fucking god weapon. I'm asking once again, we must make a plushie for Cocky's honor, or else he will send their army to Earth and destroy us all. I think we're okay for now. I talked to Cocky. He's actually pretty, like, agreeable. He's actually a pretty nice dude. But he can be impatient, so I think sooner than later I'd like to have a plushie. God, I'm happy that like the dumb shit that I write down. Like, here's my writing process for anyone who's like wants some behind the scenes stuff. I'll be like Jaffe. I'll give you some behind the scenes shit. So I played the game on Thursday. Played through the entire game of Twisted Metal 4. and then Friday and Saturday is me watching me playing the game, and then just like writing whatever stupid shit comes into my head. And for some reason, it was like, you know, the supernatural cockroach on top of Goggle Eyes Van is somehow like, you know, this warlord of space. And I'm happy people enjoy it. They don't think it's stupid. Especially Billie Jean at the beginning. Wait, Billie Jean? Hold on, I might be missing something here. Billie Jean's in Twist Metal? I don't think that's true. Maybe Tony Hawk. Maybe Vice City's what you're talking about. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. TM3 and 4 kind of cheat though because it's 100% licensed music, and that's cool, man. I think like licensed music is fine. Like, you know, again, look at Tony Hawk or GTA or, you know, fucking Guitar Hero. Obviously, like they're games that a lot of their like lasting impact comes from like their soundtrack. Guitar is kind of cheating, I suppose. You know. Why are these 30 minutes long? I don't want 30 minutes of Tokyo Rooftops Revisited. My god. Okay, is there like a version of this playlist where it's not extended? Alright, we're gonna skip Big Blue Stadium because that soundtrack fucking sucks. Skipping right on past. Alright, Thrills and Spills. Oh shoot! Yeah, I didn't know that, Wallace. I didn't know there was a map selection. Missed that one completely. So let's put our fave. Let's put Dollface in there, and let's make this America's Warthog. I think we have that skin, right? They should all have American flags. There we go, Stars and Stripes. And wheel color, what little wheels he has. There we go, overwrite that save. All those bands have the same singer and share a few moments. They all sound similar, but I definitely recommend Nail Bob to listen to. I've never heard anything quite like that. Yeah, I'm interested in that for sure. Because I'm getting more and more into like less mainstream, I guess you can say, songs or you know, artists and stuff. So like I discovered, you know, Ice Nine, Knocked Loose, like Spirit Box, and you know, stuff like that. Where those aren't like, you know, obscure niche stuff that like no one's ever heard of. But for me, like somebody who listened to mostly like, you know, just radio, like standard rock, you know, your Nine Inch Nails, your Seether, Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace type of stuff. You know, that's where I grew up with. You know, so for me to branch out to stuff that's a little bit more heavy, you know, a little less mainstream, you know, I'm always happy to learn new stuff now. If I designed a TM soundtrack, I'd add early Nine Inch Nails, Static X, Ministry, 90s era Misfits, and go on. I can see that definitely, like, because that would speak to a more like Twisted Metal 2012 vibe. Because 2012 to me seems like the Twisted Metal Black. Oh my god, I'm like destroying these guys. Holy shit. Shit, what was I saying? Yeah, like 2012 feels like a mix of the Twisted Metal Black darkness, but also like the sort of, you know, wacky, you know, fun Twisted Metal 2 style, like Head On. Head On, I felt like was supposed to be that mix, but never quite achieved it. It just felt more like Twisted Metal 2. I could see all those bands for sure. I also find it funny how Death himself is the weakest character in almost all TMs. Also, if Death dies, who's collecting souls? That's a good question. Yeah, it's weird. Like, the Reaper on a motorcycle makes sense from, like, a style perspective. But, like, yeah, he's the Grim Reaper. Like, you know, if you're going to make him a character in your video game, you kind of have to make him a boss character, right? The concept of Death. Right? He can't just be a fucking... like he's a skeleton on a motorcycle in a leather jacket. Like, I don't know, you gotta kind of have to do a little bit more than making him the weakest character ever. Unless you're doing what you, like Twisted Metal 2012 did, where he's like not the Grim Reaper, he's just like a dude with like skull paint, and like, then it kind of makes sense. Or Black also, he's like a Vietnam veteran, you know, who's working through some shit. Bolt Thrower for the win. Bolt Thrower is a band I also don't know much about. That would be a cool one to check. I mean, a lot of recommendations here. I made Slick's Clydesdale in this game. In this game, Clydesdale was the truck? What was a Clydesdale? You gotta help me out here. The V8 cars are not something that I'm super familiar with. Slipknot, Psychosocial, Rammstein, Fior Frey, Cell Dweller, My Own Little World, Three Teeth, Master of Decay, all of these would fit great in TM. I know a few of those. Cell Dweller is one that I only heard of because of Need for Speed Most Wanted, because I think they were in that game. Like, that sort of, like, feels like industrial metal type of stuff. I'm really into this. Slipknot especially would be great. You can see Hollywood Undead. I could see that too. You know, it could be more like emo punky stuff for sure. I mean, hey, his bike is not the concept of Death, so there's no bike, then disqualified. I suppose so, but like, I don't know, you think if he's Death, he could get a vehicle with some more armor, right? You know, you can get some magic motorcycle, at least. Remember, a lot of people love Madden NFL 2010 soundtrack. Madden, for a while, had, like, the soundtrack. You know, I remember, like, 05 and 06, Madden had, like, an amazing soundtrack that I really enjoyed. Like, 06 had Avenged Sevenfold, it had Disturbed, it had Bullet for My Valentine. I think it had My Chemical Romance, I think. It might have been a different one. Like, killer soundtracks in those Madden games. And then now it's mostly, like, just newer, like, hip-hop and rap and stuff, which is cool, but it's not my cup of tea. Grim is defeated, not killed. At least that's how I look at it. Yeah, I think you have to assume that, like, if these vehicles are going to keep popping up in a tournament mode several times, there has to be either some suspension of disbelief, or, you know, you're not killing them, you're just, like, you know, knocking them out of that round, and then they appear later on. But I think there's some element of them dying. Because, I don't know, like, let's see here. When I destroy these guys, it should, at the end, it should give us like a stat sheet. I'm pretty sure it says killed and not destroyed. So the verbiage they use is killing. I need to hop off for now, guys. Good night. Well, thanks for stopping by, Brad. It really does mean a lot. Thanks for spending your 4th of July with me and us. It's always a great time. It actually makes sense, Charlie. Grim competing and not dying would make sense, while the other characters keep coming back. That's a good point, too, yeah. Yeah, although I think what we're doing right now is putting more thought into the character of Grim than they did designing the game. There we go. Player 1 killed by roadkill. He killed me. Ended me. There's no coming back from that. There you go. Kills and deaths. Whatever that means for this world. Alright, that's thrills and spills. What have we not done yet? We haven't done Diablo Pass, Black Rock. I hate Black Rock. That's like my least favorite map. Absolute garbage. What a terrible design. Yeah, let's do Diablo Pass. Although I don't want to use Warthog, so let's back out. Some Ozzy songs would be good too. I can see Ozzy. That's got a good, like, you know, dark metal sort of vibe to it. But sort of poppy as well. Like, it's very accessible. So I think, like, with some of the stuff you guys are suggesting, I think they're great. You know, but they're not that accessible the way that, like, a Rob Zombie is. You know, they're not, like, poppy or catchy. You know, not that music needs to be, but I think when you put something to a soundtrack, it either needs to fit perfectly, so there's no, like, you know, there doesn't need to be that element of, like, catchy. Or, you know, it needs to have, like, that Tony Hawk Pro Skater thing where it's just good fucking songs you want to bop out to. Let's do some Vermin. Fuck it. I wonder if you die in the tournament, you go to hell and have to compete in loser's bracket in order to get another chance to come back. Well, if you look at the Twisted Metal 2 comic, like, the whole lore behind the tournament is that Calypso went to hell, and then he demonstrated some, like, you know, incredible, like, prowess behind the wheel. And so the devil's like, oh shit, you're really good at driving, aren't you? How about you go collect other drivers for me? Because I want to have, you know, more Twisted Metal tournaments down here in hell. Like, go gather talent for me. So the whole lore is that the Twisted Metal tournament is meant to kill the drivers so that they get sent to hell. So they can do more demolition derbies for the devil. I'm going to sleep now. Good night to all you guys. Well, thank you, Engine number 5, for stopping by and hanging out long enough to get a gift membership from our friend Winters. Also, if you guys haven't already, please go subscribe to Winters. You know, if you love my content, you love the Twisted Metal cinematic universe, as some people have called it, Engine number 5 being one of them. You know, Winters is definitely one you want to check out, and who deserves a lot more subscribers than they currently have. Where I think they're closing in on 700 right now, and they need 1,000, like, yesterday. You know, so please go subscribe to them. If for no other reason than they gave you a gift membership. You know, but from me to you, one of the best content creators in Twisted Metal right now, I think. Also, I feel bad it took me this long to shout him out, so, like, I hope he sees this part. Too many subgenres to count. That's my problem with rock and metal, too, is, like, why does there have to be, like, 50,000 subgenres? Like, come on. Like, yeah, they almost don't mean anything. Like, there's, yeah, like, if you have, like, a noun followed by core, you have, like, a metal rock subgenre. You say, like, grindcore and metalcore and deathcore and, you know, post-deathcore. It's like, come on, guys, what the fuck are we doing? Like, just, it's music, alright? Honestly, Rob Zombie was an acquired taste. I always muted the music in 3 and 4 growing up. That's insane. Yeah, no, I mean, not to make you feel bad or anything, but, like, I don't know, like, Rob Zombie to me felt like, it's hard to imagine Twisted Metal without it. Like, it was like an immediate connection to me, like a light just went off in my head, like, oh shit, you know, this is good. Like, TM3 starting out with Super Beast, I don't know, I couldn't imagine any other way. Just too perfect. I wonder what kind of player they would have come up with for Vermin, Meatwag, and Death Warrant, who only appear in 2012. It's hard to say. You know, like, Vermin and Meatwagon, I think you can have a pretty good guess, you know, just because, like, their cars, you know, made for, like, an occupation for a job, you know. Oh, Winters is here. Hope you heard the shout out. Hope you weren't waiting for me to do that before you go to sleep, but thanks for stopping by. Appreciate your attendance. Really does mean a lot. Oh god, I forget where I was going. Totally lost. Yeah, no, I think Twisted Metal would really need to nail the soundtrack. in a new game for it to succeed. Nu metal is more diverse genre than most people give it credit for. That's true. You know, I think when I think of nu metal, you know, I think of Limp Bizkit as like the sort of the king, you know, the crown holder. But like, there's Rob Zombie, there's Slipknot, there's Deftones, you know, who all have, to me, very distinct sounds from one another. Where like, I don't know, like, yeah, nu metal's very diverse. Also, like, pretty like underappreciated. Most people think of nu metal as being like a lower tier of music. I don't think so. I think it's very good. I don't mind other kinds of music as long as the lyrics match the game. I could see that. I don't know, like, I don't want like a folksy genre of song, you know. It's just like some dude on his porch with like a fucking a bottle he's blowing into, like pouring his heart and soul out, like it was a wife that left him for like his tractor repairman or something. Like, I don't need that in my twisted metal. I guess that's what you mean, like you want the lyrics to match the game. But I don't know, like I don't need like Appalachian folk music as like a background to these games. No, you're good. I was listening to the stream while doing laundry. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's always a point of high honor, you know, that someone will put something that I make on in the background. You know, just sort of like a comfort thing to have going on. Because I think in the modern world, you just can't have like a moment that's silent. There has to be some form of like stimulation or sound or something going into your brain. You know, so to be among that for people is really, really cool. No offense to anyone, but Slipknot's newest album sucks. I get that they're getting old and need to do something new, but this album just didn't hit anything in me. That's interesting. I didn't hear the new Slipknot album. I wasn't even aware there was one. You know, I've spent a lot of my time recently listening to Ice Nine Kills for the most part, and Knocked Loose and Motionless in White and stuff. I haven't really heard the new Slipknot, but I'll check it out. You know, I'll make my decision for myself if you're right. Death Warrant would probably be a play off the main character from Death Race, and that car ripped straight from those movies. I can see that too, and I'm sure Wallace would. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah, Wallace is my go-to guy for the Death Race films, which I still need to watch again after a long time. But I think Twisted Metal and Death Race sort of have a very, I don't know, tight relationship with one another. They might not say it out loud, but I think they really draw a lot of inspiration from each other. I just need my Kingdom of Hearts in a music box to find. Is Kingdom Hearts good? Like, I played the first one when I was like really young. You know, like young enough where I can't really like appreciate or put much value into art. Like, when you're a kid, everything's cool. You know, so I haven't played it as an adult yet with like a proper mindset. So like, is it good? I don't know. I usually have the stream on but muted when I'm playing TF2. I appreciate that, Rosewick. Yeah, it means a lot. And I'm playing a dangerous game here too, because like I really should get health, but I'm pretty confident that I can just take out E-Wagon. Oh, they got full health. Never mind. So if I jump down there, will I die instantly? Or is it like... Oh, I will if I do there. Oh, no. What if I can shield? No. Killed myself. Great. I can appreciate the music and find it fitting now, but it is not what I would consider accessible to a wider audience. I think the soundtrack in TM2 was the best for accessibility. I can see that too. I think Head On for me is the most accessible. Let's do fucking Black Rock Stadium. Such a bad map. Terrible map. The story's too complicated. That's what I've heard. Like, it seems like it's very broad-reaching and overly complicated. I think you're right. Because you're trying to fit, like, Final Fantasy and Disney with their own story and trying to, like, cover every single base. Every character has to be, like, involved in some way. There's, like, the darkness or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I could see that being, like, a high barrier to entry. It's like, I gotta read a fucking novel just to understand how to, like, start the game. Maybe it's me changing my music taste. I love Slipknot, but it's the band members leaving. I just think they lost their spark. So I think even Corey Taylor seems like he's kind of like lost some juice, you know, as far as like Slipknot goes, because he's doing his own solo act now. You know, Stone Sour. I think he puts a lot of effort into that too. You know, so it sucks to see like a legend of, you know, rock and metal like Slipknot to kind of be falling off that way. Because like in their prime, I mean, they were, I mean, unstoppable, just juggernauts. You know, so to see them falling off is kind of sad. First 3 albums are my fave. Yeah, definitely, 100%. I've played through the Kingdom Hearts series, but haven't played it since Kingdom Hearts 1. I think that's probably the best way I can experience those games. It's like if I just watch someone else play it and like explain it to me as they go. Like find a Kingdom Hearts YouTuber that does what I do for Twisted Metal, but for Kingdom Hearts, where they're just like playing the game and like very carefully like explaining to me like what each character means. I would love that. Kingdom Hearts is one of those over-the-top stories that doesn't really care about consistency or plot holes in favor of being over-the-top spectacle for fan service. I can see that. That's what it always felt to me, and this might be kind of cynical, but I always felt like Kingdom Hearts was always just like, hey, remember this fucking guy from Disney? Yeah, you want to buy a fucking toy of this guy, don't you? And it's just like the Goofy Goober guy or Goofy the dog. I don't... You know what I'm talking about. No, Mickey Mouse and Goofy, right? God, like I'm not well versed in like Disney stuff. It always felt like a marketing gimmick, I guess. That's probably what I didn't connect to. Is like it just never felt like a real story trying to be told. It just felt like an excuse to like show off like marketable characters. I want Stone Sour back. Honestly, prefer that over Slipknot. I don't know if it's the most recent album from Stone Sour, but their album Hydrograd I really enjoyed. I would like more of that. The Lost Wipeout level in 20. It's not Wipeout, is it? In TM2, there's a secret Jet Moto level. That's what comes to mind for me. Head On has a lot of covers of TM2 tracks, doesn't it? I don't know if it's covers necessarily, but they are heavily inspired by. For instance, Paris has, you know, that. Like, they're sort of reimaginings, I guess. I wouldn't call them covers, but reimaginings is how I'd put it. Small Brawls has the covers. Head On has reimaginings. Yes, thank you. Nailed it. Yeah, Small Brawl has some great covers too. Like the Playground Peril song is like Quake Zone Rumble cover, and it's fantastic. I prefer that over the original for sure. In that painting I'm doing in my college, I put your Easter egg in it. I appreciate that. I can't imagine what the Easter egg would be. I don't know if it's just Cocky the cockroach like descending down from the heavens, like rain down terror and hell. But I would love to see that. I'm glad I'm not the one making that. I'm not the only one that thought it was all marketing, because it really seems like it is, right? You know, I'm sure there's a lot of thought and really cool story elements and stuff, but I don't know, it's just hard to kind of shake off that feeling of like they're just doing it for, you know, as a marketing ploy. The art is amazing though. I feel like a kid playing it. I could see that. Like, there's definitely like a lot of artistry. You know, I don't want to like, you know, devalue that part of it. The PlayStation All-Stars version of the map is pretty cool if you ask me. Oh, is there one in PlayStation All-Stars? I didn't know that. I didn't know what maps were in PlayStation All-Stars, to be honest with you. That's like a big blind spot for me. Like, 'cause I know there's like a lot of like Sweet Tooth like voice clips and stuff you can gather from All-Stars that I just never really got a chance to. Also, what are these guys doing down there? Come on, guys. The dig on TM3 from the announcer. In this game, what did he say? Because I know the announcer in this game is actually like says some pretty cool stuff. Like I like the one where it's like, oh, you know, put in your bets for like how much like gallons of blood will be spilled or this event or whatever. It seems like very campy and fun. Glad we can use the soundtracks for your own stuff instead of getting rolled by DMCA. Copyright. Yeah, no, I'm actually super happy that like none of the like game soundtracks seem to be copyrighted. Like, and not just Twisted Metal, but like I use a lot of Cyberpunk soundtracks now. I've used Borderlands a little bit, Vigilante 8. You know, all have like ripping fucking soundtracks. You know, but none of them get copyrighted, which is really awesome. Versus like you have like 3 seconds of like Paint It Black in your video and like boom, demonetized. This map was in the game and Iron Maiden invades the Bioshock stage. I remember seeing Iron Maiden, like in the clips that I have seen, I remember seeing Iron Maiden. I didn't know there was a full ass level. That's pretty cool. Walls up, walls down. This makes as much sense as TM3. Oh, come on. God, they're so, like, bitter at TM3. Like, sorry that they just made a good game. You know, just because it wasn't your vision for Twisted Metal doesn't mean it's a bad one. Like, come on. Let's be nice. Jak and Daxter invades the TM stage. That's cool. I love Jak and Daxter. That's probably my second favorite Sony franchise behind Twisted Metal. I love Jak and Daxter, man. Like number 2 and number 3 specifically. I didn't play much of 1, to be honest. But like those collectathon platformer games, I'm not super into, so like I'm probably not that, you know, antsy to go play it. Somehow Warthog got -1 score, so like, what the hell? You can aim up in this game? Yeah, no, you can. It's the only game you can. Yeah, if you use the right analog stick and just go up, boom, there you go. All right, let's do a different level here. Jet Moto has a good soundtrack also. Yeah, let's give that some love. Let's fire up the Jet Moto soundtrack. Jet Moto soundtrack. Very surfer vibe. What it comes to. Kong doesn't like Jak and Daxter. Why? It's so great. It's fantastic. I love it. I love Jak and Daxter. I like when I was a little kid. Like when Jak would turn into the dark Jak. I thought that was the coolest shit ever. Like I was losing my shit. Like I wanted to go like Halloween as fucking Dark Jak. Brings back a lot of memories. Let's do LA Skyline. Yeah, let's do 7 opponents. Fuck it, why not? Also, the health pickup or the health semi on this map is like kind of bonkers. Let's do some shadow action. I've owned this game since 2015. I didn't know you could aim up. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a reason to most of the time, unless you're like fighting Iron Maiden or something. I could see that. Jet Moto actually shares music with TM. I can hear it like that I don't know what to call it, riff, melody, like motif, whatever you call it, from Quake Zone Rumbles is in this game, in this Jet Moto soundtrack. God, I cannot even talk, man. I think part of it is like I got kind of a headache. I'm probably not drinking caffeine or anything, but like, I don't know, it's like making it hard to play the game, read chat, form coherent sentences. It's really asking a lot of me right now. Bear with me. Any thoughts on the new Hot Wheels Unleashed game coming out in October? No thoughts at all, unfortunately. This is the first time hearing of it. But I think it could be good. I don't... This is probably a weird take, but like the games that are based on toys, it feels weird. Like it feels like a video game is already a toy. So like you're making a toy of a toy. So it just feels like I don't know. It just feels weird. Like there's like a Nerf game, like a Nerf gun game that was awful. You know, like the Hot Wheels game or Barbie games and stuff. It just feels like, I don't know. It's probably that cynical feeling again of like it's just a cash grab. You know, versus it like actually being a good game that can stand on its own. Like why not just make a game? You know, why is it gonna be a Hot Wheels toy game? I don't know. You know what I mean? Am I crazy? Is that weird? I don't know. Jet Moto was my childhood on PS1 along with TM1 and A Bug's Life and Crash 3. A Bug's Life kind of stands out to me in that list. Like the other 3 games are, I think, well appreciated, well respected. But then you just throw in A Bug's Life, great. Although Crash 3 was kind of the black sheep, wasn't it? Like 1 and 2 were great, and then 3 was like the weird one, right? If I remember correctly. Kong said he prefers Ratchet and Clank, but I sent a bit of Jak X to him. Hey, Ratchet and Clank is great. They can coexist. They don't have to be, you know, mutually exclusive. I love them both. I love Jak more. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank definitely holds a place in my heart. I'm not going to say I hate Ratchet and Clank just because I love Jak and Daxter. Like, come on. Is this Jet Moto? This is Holland. What the hell? No way. Hey, look at that. Yeah, they do share a lot of music. That's interesting. Yeah, good call. Good call on that. If I had to choose between Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank, I'd probably pick the latter. Nah, whatever, man. Jak and Daxter's great. Yeah, I get you, though. Like, Ratchet and Clank, I think, from a gameplay perspective, is probably more satisfying. and more enjoyable, just because like, you have all these guns and there's, you know, it is very satisfying to play that game. Like just to roll through opponents and use all these crazy weapons and stuff, you know. But I don't know. Jak and Daxter, which is always my favorite. Lego games are pretty fun though, especially the Lego Forza crossover. That's a good example, 100%. The Lego games are a good example of a game, you know, in toys, you know, sort of crossing over. But because they did it in like such a unique way, I don't know. Like the Hot Wheels game seems like, and I don't know for sure. Again, this is the first I'm hearing of this game. It seems like it's just going to be an arcade racer where all the cars are Hot Wheels. You know, where it's just like, I don't know, just make it arcade racer. I don't know. I don't dislike Jak and Daxter, I just couldn't beat the second and third games as a teen. They are hard. They are very hard. I would say 2 is probably one that I like got really pissed at. Like TM2 is a game that I've recently gotten pissed at. When I was a kid, Jak 2 is one that I got like properly pissed at. Crash 3 had a lot of variety, because I think it wasn't, Crash 3 wasn't Naughty Dog, was it? I think that's like the first game that didn't get developed by Naughty Dog. I think 1 and 2 were, or maybe it was 1, 2, 3, and then Nitro Kart was Naughty Dog. Boy, I can't remember. I remember one of them, or I could be thinking of Spyro as well, where like the first 2 games were, shit, who did Spyro? What studio did Spyro? Boy, that was the one that did... Spyro turned into Guerrilla Games? Oh man, yeah, you gotta help me out with that one. I only played one Ratchet and Clank game. I think it was Size Matters, and only played Jak X. So he played like, of those franchises, he played like the 2 games that were like not well representing of the rest of the series. Not in a bad way. Like Size Matters was great. Jak X was great, but like I don't know, like it's hard to say you've played the series without playing any other of them. That's Edward JW. I don't mean to be making funny or anything. I'm sorry if this comes off mean, but like you seem to be playing every game in a series besides the one everyone else has played. I don't know if that's an intentional choice or what. It's just very fun. I don't know, kind of Insomniac. Thank you. Good God, why couldn't I think of that? Yeah, Insomniac. I was thinking Naughty Dog. I was thinking like every other Sony first-party developer except for Insomniac. So thank you. Naughty Dog did 1, 2, 3, and Crash Team Racing. Okay, great. So everything after those was not Naughty Dog. All right, Thomas. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with us for as long as you did. It means a lot. And enjoy the membership. I'll hope I can give you guys more perks for the membership, because you'll get a unique Discord role, I believe. So you kind of get that members-only chat and stuff. But I want to have more like YouTube-based stuff, where you get like a members-only chat, or you know, videos and stuff that come out a day early or something like that. But that requires a lot more planning on my part that I currently don't have. Forgot Crash Bash. Was that Naughty Dog too? That was like a party game, if I remember correctly. I think Junkyard Dog's dead. There we go. I enjoyed Jak X, never beat it though, because the disc was scratched since it was a rental from Blockbuster. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, that's a game, I don't think you have to beat it to really get it. At least from my experience with it, it's kind of like, if you get like halfway through it, you pretty much got the full experience. Like, it's combat racing. Yeah, you have your fun with it. Although I did appreciate that it had a story. That's one thing I always liked about it. Okay, Kamikaze bumped off the map. There you go. You can always look at for the indie game store at. Yeah, I'm sure you could find, or if you have a PS4, if anyone has a PS4 readily available, you can buy, I think, all of the Jak games, HD remasters or whatever. They're on PS4, I believe, including Jak X. Some of the games I miss playing is Army Men. Ooh, that's a great one too. Okay, I gotta be careful here, so I do not want to die. And after this, I do have something very special planned that I'm a little nervous about. We'll see how it goes. I think Sweet Tooth just fell off. So what I have is a tier list somewhat created where I have 50 vehicles, 50 Twisted Metal vehicles, where I want to go through each of them and place them based on their style, based on the how cool they look. And I need your guys' help with that. I don't remember what 50 they are. I'm pretty sure it's all the TM2 vehicles, TM3, 4, and black, I think is all those vehicles. And we're going to rank them based on how cool we think they look. But first, we have to kill Sweet Tooth. And those fireworks are going fucking wild right now, oh my god. Okay, I won somehow. Sweet Tooth died. Jeez, what a game. What a fun game. Yeah, let me know if the vehicle style tier list is something you guys want to see. I have it ready to go. Very exciting. I heard the Buzz Lightyear platform was good. Oh, was that a game? What was that? Interesting. Good grief, I thought that was the game for a sec. Nah, these things are going crazy, man. These fucking fireworks, dude. But it's cool. Like, it's 9:30. This is the appropriate time for fireworks. It just got dark out. Sun went down. Let's have some fun. Fireworks are nuts over here too, Des. I'm in Anaheim. Oh yeah. Yeah, so for you it's probably about the same. Same time. Yeah, it just got dark. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I wonder how audible it is though. Like, how loud is it? No mind. Alright. Alright, I'm into it. Let's get it. So what I can do is swap over to the tier list. There we go, there it is. I could probably scale it a little bit so it's just the tier list that's visible. Let's try that. Yeah, I think we'll just close out the stream with this random nonsense. See how that goes. There we go. Alright, so first up, I'm just going to click on random vehicles here. You guys tell me what you guys think. So first we have, looks like Mr. Grimm, Captain Grimm from Twisted Metal 4. And this is a vehicle, this is a weird one to start with because it does not represent whatsoever what Twisted Metal is to me. And I don't know, I don't like the pirate like design for Mr. Grimm. I do feel like it kind of takes away from like the Grim Reaper, like all the cool stuff that we like about it. Also, I think the music didn't carry over. Let's change that. Audio capture. God, I'm so bad at this. I'm like bad at doing content. There we go. That should be loop back audio. No one's banging on my window. That's just fireworks, man. Absolute bonkery. There we go. Got the music back. D tier for Captain Grimm. I would be tempted to agree, honestly, just because one is Mr. Grimm. You're ruining Mr. Grimm to me. It looks a little dumb. The pirate design is ridiculous. The cannon on the front, I don't know. It's a little too goofy for me. So I agree with you guys. I agree with you guys for D tier. I'll make it a little bit smaller because I'm assuming there'll be a lot of D tier cars in here. Next up is another TM4 car. We got Goggle Eyes, which, if you guys seen my recent video, the TM4, Why Does Everyone Hate It? I'm going to put him in S tier. I love the cockroach. Just weird design. Dale Gribble comes to mind, and I just love it so much. So I don't care what you guys say. For me, it's S tier. But if you guys can convince me, I'll put him down to like a A tier minimum. I just love this guy. No bugs allowed. Fucking love it. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I apologize if the E tier, come on. But if the fireworks are distracting, I'll find a way to get around it. But for now, it's just the reality of 4th of July. Yeah, I'm going to say S tier just for the memes, man. Del Gribble's my boy. We're going to put him in the S tier. Fucking convince me otherwise. Have to ask Jim Buck what they were thinking with Captain Grimm. It's such a weird design for I just for Grimm, like for every entry of the series, Mr. Grimm has been the coolest, like just the coolest shit ever. But yeah, they ruined it there. But Goggle Eyes for me, fantastic. Name is stupid, but the idea is good. The name's not bad. Goggle Eyes. I mean, it's a bit wordy, but yeah, it's not terrible. All right, let's skip something a little bit different here. Brimstone, Twisted Metal Black. This one, I don't think it looks all that cool, but I think it's so creative and interesting, like what they added to the car, where it could have just been a standard, El Camino sort of thing, but the way it looks like rusty and worn out. You have the crucifix on the hood, you have the cross on the side, and the stained glass. There's a writhing body in the trunk, or the bed of the truck. I don't know. It just oozes with like character and D tier. Come on, Wallace. Come on, man. As a fan with a cockroach, burn it with fire. Nah, dude. Goggle Eyes is my guy. Del Gribble's my guy. I think Brimstone for me is an A tier because it doesn't look that cool, but I want to give it credit for just how interesting they made the design. It's just very creative, I guess. So I'm gonna say B tier, and I think Icy the Cult agrees with me. Rackron Duel says C. Come on, man. Brimey Stone. B for Brimstone. How about that? We'll average it all out from S, C, and B. Ends up in the B tier, like a high B tier for me. Next we have TM3 Grimm, if that's visible. I know it's a bit hard to see. Oh god. Uh-oh. There we go. Got it back. Yeah, no, Mr. Grimm in TM3 to me is the worst version of Grimm. If for no other reason than the rider itself looks just so fucking dumb. Just the worst. I think the design of the motorcycle is okay. The sidecar is kind of whatever. I prefer it without a sidecar. I'll give you guys a sec to share your thoughts. I think I'm moving a little bit too quick. Not giving you guys time to express yourselves. Brimstone is a one black newbie I wouldn't mind seeing coming back. I think Crazy A would be that for me, but I wouldn't mind seeing Preacher come back with Brimstone. D tier for Grimm. I'm with you for Grimm. A for Kong. Dude, no, Kong would put this in S tier. He loves the way Grimm looks. And I say the rider, like for the in-game model, the model like in the character art, like in the loading or then the character selection screen, I would say S tier. Just perfect. I think they based it off of Skeletor, if I remember correctly. So I'm into it. He sounds like a ghoul almost from Fallout. Kind of what it sounds like to me. I don't know. The character's cool, but not when he's like in game. It looks so stupid in game. Only TM3 character that matters is Spectre. Come on, man, that's not true. I think C tier is accurate though. I'm with that. Well, no, actually D tier. I would say D tier just because there's other versions of Grimm that are much better than what this little guy offers. Second worst Grimm, worst TM4. Yeah, TM4 definitely. So I think I will put him in C tier just to say, hey, he's better than the TM4 Grimm, but not by much. So let's go to, there we go. I think no question here that TM3 Spectre can top the list without a doubt, no question. S tier. Dorky Grimm TM3. Yeah, the TM3 Grimm. Like, how do you make the Grim Reaper not cool? How do you take something that interesting and neat and make it not cool? Yeah, I will not be taking questions. Yeah, S tier for Spectre. Next we have TM3 Augur, who I know it's kind of hard to see because the background's kind of the same color. I think I got this from a promotional material for TM3 where they had all the vehicles in a circle around TM3. And so I know it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, Augur here. I'm biased just how much I've always loved the Viper. The Viper's just a cool fucking car, man. I would, in real life, you gave me the choice between a 63 Corvette and a 96 Viper. I'm taking the Viper 9 times out of 10. And the one time is only because, the sort of aura of the Corvette, that era of Corvette, the history and stuff. It just has a lot of gravity to it. But style-wise, Viper's just fucking great. Love it. I think I saw somewhere TM3 Grimm was voiced by a woman. thought that was another interesting choice. I can see that, because, like, it doesn't sound like either, you know, a man or a woman. It just sounds like something, like, supernatural, or, like, you know, beyond gender. You know, it's like this whispering, hoarse voice. You know, that sort of nonsense. So I could see that. Augur I always liked for how much he popped out. It's a very cool car. I like how low he is to the ground. It's like a flat vehicle. Yeah, it plays like shit. This is all based on style. This is just aesthetic. You know, like if Calypso was running the tournament, it was like a car show where you all pull up to like a parking lot and like it just walks around judging you. That's what this is right now. So like this is not in combat. This is just like style. And so yeah, D tier seems right. Just Mr. Slam Jr. Yeah, I would say C. I'll give him some credit because it does look kind of cool. Mr. Slam to me is like garbage tier. Fuck that guy. He sucks. Augur's better. I wanted a Viper too, but then everyone pointed out to me that the conditions up here would destroy the car, so I had to give up on that. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. What if you can inform me what that means? Like the conditions is like the humidity, or like if it's near the ocean, like the salts from like from the ocean or something. Is that part of it? That's something I'm not familiar with. Augur had an interesting bio, but the wish was changed in the ending, so not sure how to feel about that rip-off slam. Yeah, and then it never made sense to me the way that they changed his, like, his story in the bio was he's mad that people keep destroying his shit. You know, he's a construction worker. He spent all his life building and maintaining these structures and infrastructure and stuff, and people keep destroying it. And then in the ending, it was like he wants people to see his inner child, which is like not even a wish. Like, why would you want that to be? Let's say you've murdered a dozen people to get where you are, to get an audience with Calypso. And you're like, I just want people to know who I really am. Like, no, you're a murderer at that point. So I don't understand that ending too much. Yo, I'll get to catch you live. Nice. Well, yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. This will probably end up being a bit of a shorter stream because I'm slowly succumbing to a pretty sizable headache. If I'm being honest here, but I appreciate y'all being here. It does mean a lot, especially on a holiday like this, where it's a holiday that sort of ramps up at the end of the day with the fireworks and stuff. So it just does mean a lot. You guys are here. I live up in New Hampshire, where the salt on the roads from winter snow, and then all the gritty dirt roads would tear up the underside of Viper. Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense. That's a shame, though, because, like, you know, just based on location, you can't have a car you love. S for Spectre. Did someone say C tier for this version of Spectre? Twisted Metal Black Spectre? Are you shitting me? Nah, you're just saying C tier for everything, man. I don't think I've agreed with you one time. Nah, this is S tier. 100% S tier. But specifically the version that appears in the main menu and in, like, the promotional material, where it's like the beta version. That was this, like, I don't know what year Corvette, but it's a Corvette, the more round, sporty Coke bottle design, whatever you want to call it. The one that appears in the actual game, like, during gameplay, fucking sucks. Anyway, no question. S tier. Won't even give you the chance. That's an S tier car. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Who else do we have? We have Twisted Metal Black Outlaw. The SUV. A tier, Romeo Mike. Come on, man. That's an S tier car. Death Warrant better be high tier. Death Warrant, I don't know if it's on my list. I think this is only 2, 3, 4 in black, I think, is the vehicles I have on the list here. Is there a Spectre that is S or A tier? Not in my... Wow, that's insane. I cannot disagree with you more. Doesn't one of those black versions of Spectre have pop-up headlights? Yeah, so the version that we see in the picture we have, that we just graded off of, that one does have one headlight up and one down. It's a pop-up headlight. And I really like that design because it looks like it's winking at you, like the car is, like, you know, sort of like across the bar, you know, sipping on its drink, giving a nice little wink. And then it has an I-beam, like, you know, strapped to the front of it, almost like a mustache. So I always, you know, sort of relate it to a Transformer Magnum PI, you know, hitting on you. It's kind of how I see it. I love it. Anyway, we're on to Outlaw now. Outlaw for Twisted Metal Black. I don't like the design, to be honest with you. I think it looks too... It's just a fucking rectangle with 4 circles drawn on there. Like, it's just not... ugh. Not for me, man. D tier. Okay, I see the Cole. We're on the same page here. I say D tier. For sure. Was never a fan of them changing Outlaw's vehicle into a SWAT van. I prefer the police cruiser. I'm kind of with you. I like the idea of like a SWAT van or SWAT SUV being like a twisted metal vehicle, but compared to the cruisers they used in like 1, 2, and 3, you know, I'm with you. Not as cool. Yeah, so D tier for me, unless someone can convince me otherwise. Outlaw was originally going to be Warthog in black, and I think that's interesting. Yeah, I guess we can talk about that a little bit, where Warthog, Outlaw, and Crazy 8 in black, where they kind of played a little bit of like musical chairs. Yeah, thank you, Romeo. Yeah, Crazy 8 was the original Outlaw, and Outlaw was the original Warthog, and then Warthog was known as White Knight. And they sort of all switched around where Crazy 8 became its own thing. Outlaw went to Warthog, and then Warthog went to White Knight, and then White Knight sort of dropped off. We get to see that. I don't understand why necessarily, because I think White Knight as the Warthog we see makes more sense than what it is. But, you know, then you look at Crazy 8. Like, his special is very Outlaw. You know, that taser. Yeah, so I want to put this in D tier because no one's really given me a reason to not do that. So yeah, we're doing D tier, fellas. Enjoy that. All right, let's go back to TM4. Or no, this is TM2. Interesting. There's Mr. Slam from TM2. Next driver is Pink Gold Peach. Outlaw looks too heavy, too top heavy. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Like, some of the cars in Twisted Metal, like, they don't... Like the proportions seem off. You know, like Mr. Slam... Like, look at this guy. He looks like a fucking toy. Like a weird-looking cartoon toy. Darkseid better be high. I'm not sure if Darkseid's on this list. I think that the black version is, which black, to me, is a high one. E tier for Slam. Alright. I guess I'll go with you there. Better than Augur. We'll score it there just to, you know, reflect that it's better than Augur, but that's the only reason why. Alright, what else we got? We got TM2 Warthog. And so I think this is the only version of Warthog that I included, besides the black version. So, like, the Humvee one, this is the only one. And, I don't know, man. Nah. Doesn't do it for me. I say C tier. Like, Humvees are cool and all that, but, doesn't do much for me. The teeth bucket. Yeah, that's one, like, neat little design choice they made for Slam, is, like, the bucket has teeth. Although I like the version in Head-On more. Like Wallace said a little bit earlier, they say that Head-On in 2012 has their best designs. And I'm kind of with them on that. B, C, kind of basic. Yeah, I'm with you. It's just kind of like, it's like a C or a B. I wouldn't put much higher than that. He looks better than TM1. I think the only difference between TM1 and TM2 is, like, he has a second set of wheels in the back, versus this is just the one. I think it's just the A-wall or something too, or it's like a palm tree looking thing. It's very strange. Anyway, C tier. That's where I put. I'm with you guys. C tier. Oh my god. God, I'm like so bad at fucking Photoshop, you guys. Yeah, C tier. Right under Augur. Alright, what else we got? We have Minion from Twisted Metal Black. Not my favorite version of Minion. The only difference between first and second is that one has a palm tree on the back, and two has the words AWOL. AWOL makes more sense. I never understood the palm tree. Like, if someone can explain to me what the palm tree is, I would really appreciate that. TM2 Warthog kind of blends into a lot of things for me, even though the design is serviceable. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool design. It just doesn't really do much for me. Like, it's just kind of like meh. But yeah, this version of Minion, I'm kind of tempted to put it in like the D tier. I don't know. Like, it's not that cool. It's just a fucking tanker. I don't know. B tier, A tier, D tier, like a lot higher than I would put it. In the A tier. A minus. Minion should have been a fire truck. It makes, well, would it make sense? Because a fire truck is supposed to put out fires. And this man he is starting fires. B tier. The highest I'll put it would be C tier, I think. I got 2 D tiers, a couple of B tiers. To me, that sounds like C tier. We'll put them in there. A lot of C tier stuff here. I'm surprised. Like, I thought most of these vehicles would get a lot higher than a C tier, but that's kind of what they're all lumping together. Never really was big on this version of Minion. Kind of prefer even Cousin Eddie. That's surprising. Cousin Eddie, I'd put probably E tier. That is a not cool car to me. So I'm surprised. But yeah, I'm with you that Minion in this game is not great. Alright, let's see. What is this guy? We have TM2 Spectre. Now we're at a crossroads here. Because I want to reflect that the TM3 version of Spectre is the best. However, this car is great. I'm thinking A tier. We don't have an A tier car yet. But I think if I don't put him in the S tier, people are going to, like, riot in the streets. That's the irony that makes the fire truck perfect. I can see that. I can definitely see that in Twisted Metal. That does kind of fit the vibe it's going for. But I don't know. Walmart Minion Diesel Vehicles, Cousin Eddie. Yeah, I can see that. Definitely. I'm surprised they didn't just use Minion for head on. You know? A tier, A tier, A tier. Okay, I'm with you. Yeah, we got one S tier, but yeah. S because there's not higher. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with the majority here. Going A tier. There we go. Our lone A tier representative right now. So not S. Yeah, I don't know. Something about it like just doesn't really speak to me as much as the Viper does. We have a TM2 Thumper, who I think someone says was their favorite, and I'm tempted to agree. You know, as far as like style goes, like I don't know, it's hard to beat this. Like you want to talk about classic cars, I think like the pink lowrider, fucking crazy as hell. Love it. So if anyone has any different ideas about that, let me know, because I love this Thumper. Also, what happened to our music? I guess there's just a song that's just silence for 2 minutes, right? Let's go Twisted Metal Black soundtrack. How about that? Nope. Nope. That is copyright, my friends. I wonder if there's a playlist that just has the battle music and not the fucking ambient tracks. Nope, that is not what I want. Yeah, it's tough. Tough to get. Stop playing the goddamn riff. Alright. I'm ashamed of all of you. Come on, man. I don't know about that. Too boxy for a Corvette. Is that true? I mean, it's a PS1. What do you expect? I mean, it's... You can't have, like, you know, every curve and detail represented in full glorious detail. Just not going to happen. So we have... looks like A tier, A tier, B tier. Don't like the front. It has way too many headlights, I'll give you that. Mexican lorry's got to represent. I prefer TM1 Thumper, to be honest. The only difference between TM1 and TM2 is the white roof, and I think the white roof adds a lot to it. So I'm tempted to disagree with you. And I'm thinking A tier again. So I think we need more things in the A tier to kind of, you know, the S tier means nothing if you put everything in there, you know. So I think Thumper for me goes in the A tier. Very good, but not quite the best. All right. Anyway, we have TM2 Grim. Without the rider, so we can judge this specifically based on its own merits. And I think it looks a little goofy. I think the sidecar doesn't add much to it. The bike itself is like not realistic in my opinion. Like, I don't own a motorcycle. I've never ridden a motorcycle, but even I can tell like that's not the way you would like have your handlebars set up on that sort of bike. And the way he sits on it's like bonkers. How do you like the head-on Thumper? It's about the same, right? Like kind of the similar. I don't know, like their shape and their color and stuff is very. I don't know the differences between like, you know, a 1964 Impala versus the 1965. I don't know. I'm not willing to look it up, but I like the Thumper and head-on. Cody's favorite. I could see that. I would say B tier. That one is nice, like a modded Rice Rocket. I could see that. I'm gonna put it in B tier, just because like it doesn't look that cool to me, personally. Like the version from Head On for Grim is my favorite, absolutely. Oh god. Okay, so how about we do... I'm trying to find the more TM4 ones. This list is in no particular order, so I'm just like a random assortment of fucking Twisted Metal vehicles. We have Twisted Metal Black Sweet Tooth, who I think is S tier. I think as far as like how iconic the design is and how memorable, I think this is the definitive version of Sweet Tooth, in my opinion. Of course, you know, people can disagree with me, but that's what I get out of this one. So I think S tier. And I think this is one that, when I was going through the Sweet Tour, I think this is a vehicle where they said they spent like months and months just trying to nail it and get it right. And I think they did. Don't pass out, Drew. I know, right? This fucking headache is killing me, man. Getting me good. Which I apologize. It's probably a much shorter stream than I would normally want to do, you know, 4 or 5 hours, but yeah, this is going to be a little bit shorter. But S tier, B tier, B tier. That's insane. You guys are crazy with the fucking B tiers. Alright. I'll meet you in the middle with the A tier. Yeah, I see the Colts with me, Pogmaster's with me with the S tiers, but yeah. The people speak, and they say it's not S tier. Alright, there we go. Orbital, McLaren F1, Twisted Metal 4. What do you guys think? I think it's great. I think this is one of the... It's up there with the Spectres of the world. You know, the sort of high-performance, you know, supercar. I love it. I would say S tier. The Clown has creepy but more grounded than others. I mean, I like that Clown head more than the TM1 and 2, where it's just like the, you know, fucking sprite on the top of the car. Hope you don't feel too bad if you have to cut it short. Take care of yourself. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I made some bad choices earlier today. I'm sure, like many people, I have an addiction to caffeine, and I had none of that today. And my head is like, nope, no, you gotta have that caffeine, dude. Where is it? I would have went with A with Sweet Tooth. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we did go with A, so you pretty much nailed it. It's A, no definition. D tier, hate the chrome. What, so if it was a different color, you'd like it? If it was like blue? I don't know. I like the shape, but I could see the color kind of being a turnoff. So we got a lot of B, A, D. I'll say B tier. That's gonna be weird. Like, someone's gonna look at the fucking list at the end and be like, why is a McLaren F1 in the B tier below, like, the bug van? Like, come on. What are we doing here? What do we got next? We have the World War I tank, General Warthog, which, I mean, come on, guys. It's dumb, right? It's a dumb-looking car. Like, imagine this. Imagine you're walking past a row of all these cars lined up. You know, all these guys, they came in, you know, trying to show off their car. They're popping the hood, letting you take pictures. You know, they're, you know, just got a chair next to their car. It's a car show. You would walk right past this thing, you know, in favor of, like, Mr. Slam or the Bug Van or any version of Spectre. I don't know. Like, historically speaking, a lot of significance. Aesthetically speaking, it's a fucking box. Come on, man. It's ugly. Thank you. Specials, man. E tier. He's our first E tier. How about that? How about that? How about we just stick him all the way the fuck down there? Looks like a goddamn pencil eraser. Come on. D for don't get trench foot. Yeah, there you go. Jonky boy, I love him. D tier. You can't flatter him and say, oh, you look so cool, you're so great. Anyway, D tier. We want you second from the bottom. Don't mind the special. Wish the damn special was different, though. The special's so weird to me. Like, it's almost like a mine. It's like a remote explosive, effectively. It's very strange. Well, no, I'd stop to look at it, but I love history. Exactly. If you don't love history, or, like, you know, military, you know, hardware and stuff, it's a garbage design. Next, we have Quattro, the space bike. I mean, they could have put Grim on this. They could have had like a space version, like an alien version of Grim, and it would have been fine, I think. But instead, no. We get what we got. Fucking RoboCop. I think it looks fine, you know, but again, like, a lot of the cars in Twisted Metal 4, they seem to not have much, like, definition or color to them, and like, the way their proportions are, they feel like toys. You know, they don't really feel like real, like, defined cars, and this is one that I think kind of, it doesn't benefit very much from how cool a design could be. B, D, C, B. All right. If you had a crush special, it would have been C for me. Oh, with Warthog, yeah, definitely. World War I tanks has to start somewhere. Yeah, I mean, look, they didn't build those tanks because they looked cool. They built those tanks because they're like trying to make like, you know, a metal box that won't like kill its drivers. They should make it look more like Akira, not enough character. E tier, E tier. I can see that. E tier seems low to me, but I'm gonna say D tier, just because like it's a cool idea. Panda, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to our Twisted Metal style vehicle tier list. We're judging these based solely off the way they look and nothing else. We have TM3 Outlaw, who is not showing their best right now. I do love the TM3 Outlaw because I love the Mustang design. I think it's very interesting and cool. This is probably my favorite version of Outlaw because the 1 and 2 is kind of like lame in my opinion, like that cruiser. But I love the TM3 version, the Mustang. So for me, it's A. Jet Bliss, thanks for stopping by. We're doing a tier list of what we think these cars, where they belong, style-wise, aesthetically speaking, where do they belong? So, like, if you had Calypso, had everyone pull into a parking lot, put their car there, and we're walking past it, which one would you rate highest or lowest? And so far, our list is a fucking mess. Absolute mess. See, I don't like the S95, SN95 Mustang. Whatever, man. I like it. I like any Mustang besides the Fox body from like the 80s or whatever. I'm pretty high on. Outlaw's always best. Yeah, I mean this version at least. I don't like the one from 1. Like that's Crown Victoria boxy looking thing. Not super into it. I'm thinking A tier. I don't think Outlaw can belong any higher than that. Any version of it, but this one for sure is A tier for me. Got S tier, C tier. E tier would be for cars that don't look complete. I can see that. Yeah, but there's not that many cars in Twisted Metal that really feel that like out of place or incomplete to me. But TM4 Warthog to me looks complete. I think what they were going for they accomplished, but it's just not that good. It just kind of sucks. I can go with A tier, A tier, A tier. Okay, I think we're all in agreement for A tier then. I'm okay with that. We have TM3 Hammerhead, which as far as Hammerhead goes, I mean, I prefer the airbrush skull on the side of TM2 Hammerhead, but I like this. I really hope TMA doesn't see this. Why are they really high on like certain vehicles, or they think the idea is stupid? Why? Because I put anything like in TM3 above the fucking trash tier? Come on. Also, they won't see this. They don't care. They don't care about my content. My least favorite Mustang in the Mustang 2. Mustang 2, that's like the 70s, I would imagine, right? Auger and C based, yeah. No, I mean, look, Auger I think has a lot of great qualities to him, but it's a construction vehicle. It can't look that cool unless you're Mr. Slam. E tier, my God, you guys are brutal. Yeah, I'm with you though. Jeep Wrangler, yeah, could do without. All right, let's get a nice Twisted Metal Black going here. Manslaughter, the People's Champion. Now, I know I just made some comments about how a industrial vehicle has no place being any higher than C or B tier, but goddamn, I love me some Manslaughter. That roll cage is dangerous. Yeah, emphasis on the roll. Twisted Metal 3, constant rolling. Small Brawl Hammerhead is S tier. I can see that. Unfortunately, I don't have any on this current, like, you know, assortment of vehicles. I don't have any Small Brawl or 2012 or head-on characters. So I was hoping if this was successful, this idea, that I can do a volume 2 that would include a lot of those later vehicles. A tier, C tier, B tier, A tier. Final answer. I'm with you on A tier, man. I love Manslaughter's design. I mean, it's neat. It's interesting. You know, it's menacing, but also kind of adorable. Like, I don't know. It's just, look at him go. So happy. D tier? Come on, man. Nah, he's A tier. Manslaughter's A tier. Fuck out of here. Don't want to hear it. Like a low A tier. I don't like the front of Manslaughter, but it looks to me, the front of Manslaughter is the best part. Now we have TM3 Roadkill, who, compared to the other versions of Roadkill, this one to me feels like the most junker of them all. Because I think that's the idea of Roadkill, right? Is you want it to be like a car that looks like he slapped it together with a bunch of fuck-off pieces from some random junkyard. So I think this one embodies that the most. Like, it's got spikes coming out of the wheels, man. Like, this thing looks homemade. I really dig it. I really dig a lot of the cars that came out of TM3. If you could have any TM vehicle as a plush, who would it be? I mean, Sweet Tooth, probably. Just, you know, it's the iconic character, but I think at this point, given my most recent video with the TM4, I think I'm kind of like beholden to show some love to Goggle Eyes. Ew, E tier, come on. I mean, you're right. It does look like shit, but that's the point. It's supposed to look like shit. All right, whatever. We'll put him in the E tier. That's fair. Also, Team A will love this. I'm putting everything TM3 in the E tier now. You know, all those 989 games. There's not a single. I guess there's 2 989 vehicles in the A and S tier. So, like, I don't know. Not giving them that much love. I love this Roadkill. It looks dirty and rotten. Exactly. Like it's supposed to. That's the point. TM3 Roadkill looks fitting. Give it its junk car, C or B. Yeah. I'll put him in the D tier. I'll upgrade the D tier just to kind of even everything out. You mean Vermin, right? Yeah. No. Well, Vermin, the bug guy is up here. That's Goggle Eyes. Vermin's not on this list yet. That'll be for Volume 2. Roadkill has a touch of derby car in him. Yeah, definitely. Just like something that just looks... like you can't buy it brand new that way. It's something that has to come together after years of turmoil and bad decisions. Alright, we have a TM2 Minion, who to me feels like the version of Minion, but it also looks a little goofy, but it's also iconic. So it, like, to me, it straddles that line of like, it's dumb, but like we love it, we stan. S tier, A tier. I'm with Wallace. I think S tier, just for like its impact on the game. Like it, I don't know. To me, it's S tier. You can't really put it any lower. If we're being honest with ourselves, you can't put it any lower than S tier. S tier tank. It's the only S tier tank in the series, in my opinion. Like, the Minion from Twisted Metal 4, fucking stupid as hell. Worst thing in the game. I hate it. Alright, we have Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal 4, who, I mean, the in-game model looks a little goofy. However, the model that's used in the intro cutscene, like the whole action sequence there, I love that thing. It looks so cool. Like an ice cream truck with a fucking engine blower popping out of the top of the hood. Are you shitting me? That's great. Don't crucify me, but I'm not a huge fan of any Minion design. I mean, look, you guys can have your opinions and stuff, but I think, like, Minion in a vacuum looks dumb as hell. I can't deny that. But just, like, if you imagine what it exists in most people's heads as, like, this menacing, like, incredible boss that, like, ruins your day, you know, I don't know, it has a big place in, it's got legacy, I guess. It's legendary. Kong Dude says S tier. I'm tempted to agree. I think it's cool. I think it's just kind of over the top. I love it. Melvin approved. Yeah, I think that's all we need is Melvin to approve it. See, it looks melted. Yeah. No, you're right. I can see that, because that's just the way all the vehicles in TM4 look. They all look like they're just not defined well. They look, yeah, they look melted. The wheels look weird, but the live-action commercial was dope looking. Yeah, so I guess if we're only basing it off of this one picture, like this version of his car, I would say a C tier. But in the cutscene version and the version in the commercial, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of with you guys. That it'd probably be much higher, like an A tier, S tier. And for Melvin's sake, we're gonna put him in the S tier. But that's with the caveat that it includes the version from the cutscenes and the commercial. Alright, let's see. What do we have here? Roadkill. Twisted Metal Black. What I like to consider it as an apocalyptic caramel apple. Just a green car draped in rust. And I'm really into it. Really down for it. But I'm open to hearing dissenting opinions. Melted micro machines. That's a great way to put it, Wallace. Yeah, TM4 is just home with the melted micro machines. These toy cars that look like you just put a blowtorch over them. A tier, C tier. Okay, I'm with you on A tier. I love it. I think it's a cool design. It's a muscle car, man. It's great. A tier. Thank you. All right, I'm with you. Stick him right there next to the people's champion. Manslaughter. Well represented. Yeah, the A tier was once a barren wasteland, and now slowly becoming more and more populated. We're going to terraform this A tier. Alright, next is TM2 Twister, who I think we talked about earlier in the stream. And I never noticed, it actually says Twisted on the top there. That's pretty interesting. And this is a bad angle of Twister, because this makes her look like a drag racing car. Like it's just like a very sort of like a wedge shape, and I'm not into it. Looks like a Dodge Impala. I'm not a well-versed car nut or nothing, but I found that funny. Dodge Impala. I think it's a Challenger, right? Can someone correct me on that? Is it a Challenger? The Roadkill from TM Black. Pretty sure that's what it is. Dodge, Impala, Chevy. Yeah. Yeah, we got B tier, S tier, A tier, S. That's my main car. I mean, yeah, it's a Formula 1 car, you know, and I like Formula 1 cars. Always look dope as hell. Like there's no other way. There's no competition, you know. So that's an S tier for me. I don't like the color too much. I don't like the combination of pink, blue, and yellow. I'm not super into. I like pink. I like blue. I like yellow sometimes, but not in that combination. Charger, thank you. Dodge Charger, okay. I mean, it's one of the two. I mean, they're effectively the same fucking thing. Fucking fight me. I don't know. They're all the same. Next, we have TM2 Roadkill. So this will be a defining question of this live stream. Do we consider TM2 Roadkill better than TM Black Roadkill? S or A tier? Love the colors. The colors of Twister? Come on. I don't know about that. Also, thanks for joining us, ATS Java. Appreciate it. Unless you're already here. I don't think you've been in chat. I could be completely wrong. Anyway, welcome. Thanks for being here. S tier for this guy. That's how sponsors would advertise, though. Yeah, I get it. It just... I know it stands out. Like, if you're, you know, some corporation or company or whatever trying to invest money into marketing, you know, a Formula 1 car, I guess you would want it to make it stand out, but I don't know. I don't like it. C, C, B. Yep, 2 is better than Black. I don't know. Better than TM3, but worse than Black. I'm with Romeo on this one. Yeah, I would say B tier, just to kind of show off. Hey, it looks a lot better than 3, but not as cool as not as cool as a TM Black. I've been lurking, listening to music. Well, yeah, I appreciate you keeping us on in the background. I appreciate that. Whenever I think of Roadkill, I always refer to TM2. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, B or C kind of forgettable, but need to remember it had the best ending in all the media ever. Yeah. Yeah, if you ask Kong, dude, he'd go on like a 30-minute fucking sarcastic rampage about it. Yeah, I'll say C tier. I'll say C, just to say, hey, it's better. Better than 3, but not better than black. Great. All right, who do we have next? Oh, fucking, let's go. Love it. RC car. I hate it. I don't respect it. I don't like it. I think it's an insult to vans. I think you have goggle eyes in the S tier, showing what a van should look like. If a van were to follow every rule of being an S tier car, it would end up like goggle eyes. But I think if you want to show off that you're a madman, a disgrace, you know, you want to dishonor your family and your heritage, you go with RC car and what they did. E tier all the way. All the way. If there was like something below E tier, actually let's have them barely poking out underneath Hammerhead there. A tier? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? No way. No way. Trolling me. Next we have Club Kid. No argument for RC car being E tier. I wish bosses had drivers. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, I wish that if they had infinite development time and resources and stuff, I wish every boss in TM4 could have gotten a character. Because I want to know what would RC car be. You know, they already had Microblast, so like you couldn't do that again. Interesting. We have the Mini Cooper here for Club Kid, who I love dearly, and I will not accept anything lower than a C tier. Thank you, Romeo. C tier. Was the special for RC car good? Or are we talking about Club Kid? Club Kid had a pretty good special. Broken, even. Mr. Bean, C tier. I love the Mini Cooper, though. And also, like, not a lot of European cars get much play when it comes to Twisted Metal. You know, most of the cars, you know, that we can see on this list here are American. You know, very few of them, you know, hail from any other country besides, you know, America or North America. So, I don't know. I say show some love. I think it's weird how a lot of their Twisted Metals are rushed. Yeah, right? Except for, like, and the one that wasn't, TM2012 was, like, the one that didn't feel rushed. And it still came out like a, you know, undercooked meal. You know, so maybe time is an illusion, you know. Whether it's rust, excuse me, whether it's rust or not, yeah, you're going to end up with a pretty sloppy project. Do we give points to Club Kid for the nice touch of the smiley faces turning to a frown when the car is damaged? I would. Yeah, absolutely I would. Yeah. The smiley face lifts in your head rent-free. Yeah, definitely. S tier. Look, A tier. I'll put him in A tier. You know, because I know that there is some people saying it looks stupid, but personally, in my heart, my boy's an S tier. But out of respect to you guys and your opinion, you know, we'll put him in the A tier. Now we have TM2 Grasshopper, who I don't like the lime green. I think it's a bit too loud. I don't like dune buggies or their style in general, which is, I guess, maybe sort of backwards given how much I like Jak 3, which was like a lot of buggies, and Jak X was like mostly buggy sort of cars. Vigilante 8 was great. It was development for only a year. That's a short time. Although V8, like, not that any TM had like a large scope, but I feel like V8, like, it kind of knew what it needed to be. And so despite a shorter development cycle, it felt like it doesn't feel rushed when you play it. Yeehaw. Do we give points for the yeehaw? Because I kind of do. B tier, C tier. I'm kind of going more towards C tier. And that's giving it a bump for the yeehaw. Otherwise, it would be a D tier. C tier. But Pogmaster says B tier. Romeo says B tier. It looks so utilitarian for that kind of special B. I don't know, because it has charm. It has personality to it. But alright, B tier. Fuck it. It's a B tier. Alright, what do we have next? We have Pizza Boy. Sucks that Winter's not here to hear that. He can do an excellent Pizza Boy. I love it. C tier. Listen to the bog. Yeah. Yeah, B tier for Grasshopper. Against my better judgment, it's going to go in the B tier, but somehow no one said anything higher than B tier, so I think we're all in agreement that it's not that great, Grasshopper. But Pizza Boy, you know, your Honda Civic hatchback. I don't know. B tier for me. You can't put it above TM2 Roadkill. Ah, that's a good point. Yeah, because we're putting Grasshopper above everything below it. You know, so Grim, Augur, Warthog. But is it better than TM2 Roadkill? I think what we'll do, just out of fairness to it, I think what I'll do, I'm gonna put TM2 Roadkill up there in the B tier with Grasshopper. But I think this one's a B tier for me. The sign has the pizza. Yeah, I love that too. Love this version of the Honda Civic. I would say A tier. I'm kind of leaning to A tier as well. You know, because again, it's a non-American car, which you just do not see a lot of in Twisted Metal. Needs more character for pizza, like cheap spoilers or something. Oh yeah. A or S tier since Honda Civic, and it's a pizza delivery car, and Team was originally a pizza. Was it originally a pizza delivery game, or was it? It was what it was, but then Sony was like, "Hey, let's turn it into a pizza delivery game." I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have that backwards or not. But yeah, and I think we'll bump it up for that piece of Twisted Metal history. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. A tier. Uh-oh. Yeah, Pizza Boy. That's a A tier. Pizza A tier. There we go. Like, unironically, a little too well. It fits for a pizza car. It does. I mean, yeah, you're cheap, you know, sort of, you know, rice or whatever you want to call it. I love it. I think it's great. Meter Maid. E tier. No question. Absolute E tier. Embodies the E tier. Yeah, I'm not into it too much. I thought they wanted the cars to shoot fruits originally. I think it was something like that too. Like, from my understanding, it was, you know, they had this design for a game that was, you know, a little bit controversial. You know, you're blowing up, you know, suburban neighborhoods and all that. You know, and Sony was maybe a little bit skittish on that. You know, so they're like, hey, let's make it pizza, let's make it fruits, like let's make it everything we can to make it not, you know, actual cars exploding and people like dying and all that. So we got lucky that Sony let it slide. But E tier, no question. There's just nothing at all redeemable about this design. All right, I think we're closing out our TM4 stuff here. I think this is maybe one of the last two. But Calypso's Nuke Mobile. Where's the megaphone on it? I don't know. I don't think it has one. Which is probably for the best. We don't want her yelling out of the fucking car during the gameplay. Epitome of, I just put you to low health, quit healing. Yeah. Yeah, Meteor Maid's such a hard opponent to fight, especially if you have, like, I don't know, let's say you're playing against a friend. I don't know, just spamming that shit. It's the worst. You start with 6, right? Like, when you start the game, you have 6 of the uses of the special. Yeah, bonkers. Japanese didn't like all the death, yeah. I mean, I can see that. Like, that time in gaming, like, games was mostly for kids. You know, so I think it was hard for, you know, a publisher to invest money in a brand new IP, you know, that was going to be a bit more, you know, mature, over the top in that way. Casually holding nukes. I'd say S tier. You know, you don't get many nuke trucks in Twisted Metal. You know, you want to show it some love when they come by. You know, I like the S tier for them. I think it's a good place. B tier, A or B. You know what? Yeah, you know, you're right. I'm giving it too much credit. A tier. I'll put it in the A tier. Calypso needs to be driving the McLaren or a Batmobile. Yeah, you would think, like, the way, you know, Calypso sort of, you know, comports himself, that he would be in a more expensive, you know, nicer, exotic car or something. You know, like a rich person would. But no, he drives a fucking nuke mobile, you shitting me? Come on. Next is Drag Queen. I think we have this one and maybe one other Twisted Metal 4. Sold written on the side. Yeah, that's a nice touch. But Drag Queen here, I think it's a Camaro, like a Camaro drag racing car. You know, but because it's Twisted Metal 4, it ends up looking just like a fucking box. You know, it's not as cool as it should be. Calypso said, "Kick me out, will you? Fine, I'm bringing nukes." Yeah, dudes bring a fucking nuke truck to a car fight. Love it. Love the energy, man. Calypso will be the guy that drive a nuke truck. Yeah, right. Offensive character. Yeah, we're not basing this off the driver whatsoever. This is solely off the car itself. See, reminds me of a knockoff Hot Wheels. It kind of does, right? Offensive character, big oof. Yeah, I'm definitely not. Whatever we rate this car at is not going to be at all what we feel about the driver. It's just the car by itself. A, B, A, S tier, maybe A. I think A is probably right. Uh-oh. God damn it. Why can't I keep this from scrolling? If anyone's curious, I use a Mac, right? So I have the magic mouse, or whatever they call it. You know, so I don't have a scroll wheel. The mouse is a touch screen, essentially. Or it's like a touch surface. So barely like moving my finger over it will cause it to scroll. And does not help in this circumstance. Anyway, A tier. I mean, I'm kind of going to S tier, man. It's a cool looking car. She needs to redesign because it's a good idea. Drag queen punching down. He literally escalated everything. Oh my god. The color scheme works for the car. Yeah, I mean, it's a great color scheme. I don't know. I really like the car, but you guys are pretty solid on the A tier, so we'll keep it there. Funny, that's my boss's car. The engine sticks out too. I wonder, like... Oh. Did I have Sweet Tooth twice? I do. Okay. Yeah, we'll delete him. And Moon Buggy. That's my last TM4 car. Moon Buggy. Like, I'm not a big car guy, so, like, when the engine sticks out of the top, it's just like a blower, right? Like, it's just like taking in air. Like a supercharger or something. That's my understanding. Ah, Mac Man. Now the goggle eyes replacement makes sense. Yeah, come on. The color scheme reminds me of a Need for Speed game. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's very vibrant, very... Yeah, I could see that. But Moon Buggy looks like a caterpillar to me. Yeah, double the tooth. Yeah, what if I put one in the S tier, one in the fucking E tier? Crusher. I don't think I have Crusher on this list. Probably save that for next time. Moon Buggy is unique in a design to TM4. Yeah, Moon Buggy looks fucking weird. Yeah, C for Caterpillar is what I'm thinking. Like, it's not a cool design, but it's fun. It's unique, you know? Yeah, iconic. You know, you can't forget Moon Buggy. You've seen him once, and you've seen him forever. So every time you close your eyes, you just see Moon Buggy. Burnt into your eyelids. D, you're being generous. Yeah, I mean, I think C tier is appropriate. Wallace, you know, so even though I agree with you, it deserves C tier. I think just for how weird it looks, I mean, C is where I would put it. I'd always felt he never fit. I mean, he doesn't. Like, nothing else in the game looks anything like Moon Buggy. It's just random. But because of that, I'm kind of like, I don't know, he just stands out so much. It's one of the few cars in Twisted Metal 4 that has, like, definition. You know, like, it has, like, it feels more defined. Even if it's, like, dumb as hell. So, yeah, Z tier. Caterpillar. Next is our boy. Our boy Axel. He's huge. Guy's mega. I'm gonna make him bigger than I made anyone else. Look at this fucking guy. Coming off the screen, he's so big. There he is. I think we're all in agreement. S tier. It's so bizarre, it's good. Or something like that. Bug me better paint job, it would be fine. I mean, what color? I mean, if he was black, yeah, black and chrome. Java, you got it right. That would be great. A for Axel. Now S tier for Axel. He's huge. Look how big he is. Guy's massive. B because no speedo like the beta. He had a speedo in the beta. My God. He's already got cake the way he is now. Like, I'm cool with the jeans. Cool with that. A tier, S tier. Yeah, only one person said S tier. Come on, guys. Let's think about this. He's huge. I thought it would be no question that we would get an S tier Axle, but the people don't agree. What a shame. He's so big, you guys. I hope you're understanding this part of it. He's huge. Strange's eyes are red in game, but white in cutscenes. Yeah, I don't know what the deal with the red eyes is, because Sweet Tooth as well, in TM1 and 2, has red eyes, like, poking through the windshield, and then Axel does as well. Maybe it's just sort of trying to, like, put some, like, features on his face. But, I don't know what the red eyes means, but yeah, A. I'll put him in the A tier. A for Axel. Alright. No question I thought it was going to be S tier. You guys... And he's on the cover. Come on. Unique, iconic, unforgettable. And yet, y'all put him in the fucking A tier. What a shame. I prefer real cars over creative ones, deaths. Alright, fine. Whatever. I mean, look, I get it. I totally get that. But he's so big. He's so big, you guys. Probably reusing assets. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, 100%. TM2 Shadow. This one also very big. Thing's long as hell. And iconic, too. Like, in a hearse is very cool. I never noticed the grill says RIP. That's pretty cool. And this is not based on the driver, too. Like, I love Mortimer as a driver, but this is just the car. Yeah, A tier for me. Definitely. I mean, no, actually S tier. I think I would put it S tier. Shame, shame, shame. B tier, A tier. S, hearses are so cool, especially in purple. Yeah, I think the purple was such a cool choice. I don't think you could have... like, if it was all black, I can see that, but the purple was just so smart. Just perfect. I'm going S tier for our boy Shadow. No question. The fact that someone brought a hearse, yeah, right? The Shadow I like the most. Yeah, I think the TM2 Shadow is probably better than TM Black. But the TM Black one has the skeleton on the grill, which I think is a neat touch. Yeah, I think S tier for TM2 Shadow. No doubt. No doubt featuring Gwen Stefani. Alright, hey, we have Hammerhead from TM2 with the airbrush skull on the side. It's the kind of the truck you'd see down by the riverbed with some stoner living inside of it. You know, it would, like, you know, he has free tickets to his band who's playing at some dive bar downtown. Shadow above TM2 Spectre. Oh, 100%, dude. 100%. I don't feel bad about that at all. S tier all the way. It's a wild pick for a car, but fits the more you think about it. Yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know. It fits the vibe of TM2, I think, better than almost anyone. Shadow in 2 is probably the longest vehicle in the series, right? You might be right. Unless you count, like, boss vehicles, like Iron Maiden or whatever. D, it's not green. I don't know. I'm thinking C tier. Doesn't excite me much. S where Axel should be. Thank you. Someone understands me. Someone understands that Axel belongs in the S tier. B tier, B tier, A tier for me. Ford Broncos are not good cars. I mean, we put Outlaw from Black in D tier, so yeah, we already set our precedent that we put those guys low. Monster trucks are epic, but this one looks dumb. Is where I land on that. Romeo. Slick Clyde would like a word with you. Yeah. I think I mean, everyone said B tier, except for the one lone D tier. If you asked Teenage Me, it would have been A or S. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a cool car if you're like a teenager. And Monster Truck should be cool. It's Twisted Metal. It's a car combat contest. But I'm thinking C tier. Thinking C tier, you guys. Don't be mad. Alright, we are moving our way down the list here. Next is Flower Power, TM3. God, like, when you have them all on a list like this is just the cars from, like, Twisted Metal 2, 3, 4, and Black. So 4 of the games out of 8 is what cars we're doing now. And there's like 50 of them. Like, there's a lot of fucking cars in this franchise, you guys. Hammerhead was done dirty in most games. Yeah, I mean, for a for a monster truck to be that bad in every game is so shocking to me. E tier, D tier, the Spectre ripoff, D tier, C tier. Really? Okay, C tier seems generous. I'm kind of more in the D tier. Heal. Oh my god, it's ugly. Is it because of the like the flowers and like the Venus symbol and all that, or is it like the bug part of it? D tier. I hated this car. E tier. All right, all right. I think we'll put it in the E tier just to, you know, occupy that space a little bit more because you guys seem to fucking hate this car. Jeez. All right, TM3 Thumper. This one, I don't think we can put it any lower than where we put TM2 Thumper because they're effectively the same car. Just one has a black roof, one has a white roof. So I don't see much sense in putting it lower. Although this car's a bit more purple than the pink of TM2. I said C because I feel like in real life it would be a cool car to see. No, you're right. I mean, if I did see it on the street, I would be like, oh, cool, that'd be great. You know, but yeah, the paint job's a little bad. You know, you white with the Venus and the flies and stuff, or the flowers, but yeah, as a shape, it's cool. C, don't really care. Whatever. I think we have to put it in the same place as TM2, just because they're so similar. Just squish them. Come on, nice and squished up. Yeah, A tier has a lot of cars. Holy shit. Okay, TM3 Minion is next. I don't see much reason to talk about the TM3 one because it's just so damn similar. Except the purple. But I kind of like the purple, so. I love purple. Purple instead of pink looks weird. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I would say A, universal for a lot of the Thumper designs, except maybe Super Thumper. That one is S tier. The Super Thumper design seems like exactly the same as the other ones, except as like an extra flamethrower. Which, I mean, yeah, thinking about it, I probably would put it over the top for me too. I think for TM3, I would put it in the same tier as... Yeah, no, you don't like the Minion designs. I get it. I get it. I like the design better, actually. I like the big M. I like the green. You know, like the barrel has like that weird arrow chevron thing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I would say S tier just to put it alongside the TM2 one, because they're effectively the same shape. It's just this one has a more interesting paint job, in my opinion. Ah, yes, if you spot this Minion, you're dead because of the special spamming. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, fucking cheap as hell. You don't want to be caught in a room with this guy. So I'm going to say S tier, just because we have the TM2 one up there, and having it lower would kind of be against that. Gotta have some semblance of credibility. C is kind of reminds me of a circus. Is it that bad? Like just having the barrel with the colors on it? Come on. The tank needs tracks. Yeah, I think that they probably would have done like a track vehicle at that point if they knew how, but I think having wheels just is much easier. I would give it B. I don't think green fits Minion. I would agree with that. If only I didn't grow up more with that green version of Minion versus any other. Like it's that feels like the real Minion to me. E tier for Firestarter, huh? God, you guys really hate these TM3 cars. I felt Firestarter had a neat design to me. I'm just never a fan. Alright, that's fine. Whatever. I get it. C reminds me of 30s Roadster. A tier hot rods are cool, even if the character isn't. I have to go. Got work in 5 hours. Have a good night, everyone. Well, thanks for hanging out with us as long as you did, Raccoon Duel. It's been 3 hours of you chilling with us, so I really appreciate that. Thanks for helping out with the tier list. Have a great night. Try to get some rest. Also, for a lot of you people, it's probably very late. It's almost 3... No, it would be 2 a.m. almost for you guys on the East Coast. And we have a few people expressing some love for Firestarter. B tier, A tier. I like the hot rod design. I don't like the flames. The flames are a bit tacky for me. You know, but the overall design's pretty cool. I would say B tier. I'm with B tier. Anyone who said B tier, I'm on the same page as you. Almost 1 a.m. for me. Yeah, it's 10:40 p.m. for me, so I can only imagine it's much later for everyone else. It's too boxy and ugly, not a great special. What is the special? It's a flamethrower, right? Like, flamethrower should be good. For me, it's 1240 Iowa. Oh, man. Yeah. What's Iowa like with all that corn? Almost 2. Yep, had my small food coma, so I'll be out for a bit. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I hope you guys enjoyed your 4th of July's as well, because you know, it's always an interesting holiday. You know, it feels like Thanksgiving light. You know, it's just sort of like a big family get together, lots of food and activities and stuff. But you don't have the buffer of like sports. You know, it's like a weird time in the sports world where there's just not a lot going on. There's baseball, I guess, but like NBA wrapped up, hockey wrapped up, NFL is, you know, in its off season, so like you're kind of just stuck with your family, just boom, working through your shit with some burgers. Anyway, stop projecting onto you guys. Hot Rod's just 1 car. Rat Rod is a mash of 2 or more. Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually interesting. But where do we put him? B tier. That sounds right. B tier sounds right. 1240, 1040 in Cali. Yeah, here in old Southern Nevada, old New Vegas. It's 1040, which is late for me, but even later for everyone else. I live in the main big city, so I don't know, but I'll admit it gets boring, and I go to Walmart and Target and just try to the rich malls to hang out. Yeah, I've only spent, you know, a minimal amount of time in, like, you know, more rural or smaller towns, you know, and I can't imagine, like, look, I live in Las Vegas, right? There's always shit to do, you know. You got clubs and bars and shows. You know, it's not just the local Walmart is like the hangout spot. You know, there's always shit going on. But we got Junkyard Dog here. Let's get some ratings in a Junkyard Dog. Old New Vegas. Yeah, I live in what New Vegas was pre-explosions. But I like this boredom because as an artist, it gives me a lot of time to make ideas based on the world I live in. Like the mentioned college explosion painting. That's true too. I think that, you know, being overstimulated and just having constant, just bombarding stimulus into your brain, you know, it doesn't give you a lot of time to reflect and try to craft something new, you know. So yeah, I'm glad you can appreciate that. That's awesome. Kind of in Cali too, just had a car show. Well, yeah, what happened doing a Twisted Metal car show? Put it all together. I miss Nevada. Nevada's fine. I know Vegas is fine. I don't like the desert. I wish it would rain more. I wish the sun wasn't so goddamn hot. You know, does it have to be like an actual blowtorch? I don't know. But, you know, it's my home. Yeah, love it. Got A tier, A tier. Someone asked what the strongest car in Twisted Metal is. I mean, Juggernaut, Minion would come to mind in that conversation, just because they're, you know, essentially boss characters. But I'd probably say Minion, just in general. S tier, C tier, A tier. This is a lot of back and forth here. I would probably go more towards B tier, because it's not that interesting of a design. I mean, the tow truck's cool and it fits the game, and the you know, a lot of neat little touches. You know, like the little guy on the side and stuff. But I would say B tier. I'm with Wallace. Wallace on the B tier. Bro, have you ever had 91% humidity? Not in Vegas, no, but I did spend a summer in Mississippi, and good lord, I mean, ugh. At least you're not in Scottsdale. Is Scottsdale hot? Sounds hot. That's Arizona, right? I don't know. I don't know geography all too well. Yeah, I mean, look, dry heat's not the worst heat. You know, I'm not saying that there's not worse heats out there, but boy, is it hot anyway, you know? It's not a competition. It's just hot. I experience both dry and humid heat. I hate both. What the fuck was that? Something just popped out of the top of my car, or my, okay, I don't know what the fuck that was. Something came up on my computer screen. I don't know what the fuck it was. Okay, I'm gonna put him in B tier, just to get him out of the way. We gotta finish up this tier list, guys. it's getting long-winded. Junkyard Dog in the B tier. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 left. Coming along the back stretch here. I'd rather have snow and ice than heat and humid, but in Iowa we get both. That's gotta suck. Yeah, the snow is one thing that I like. I say I like it, but if I do experience it, I would probably not enjoy it too much. Alright, so we have Mr. Grimm, Twisted Metal Black. I think the rest of these are gonna be Twisted Metal Black. Arizona doesn't get a good rap. Crime and heat. Yeah, I don't hear much about... The only good thing about Arizona, right, is daylight savings time. Not a thing. That's its best thing. My parents are in Flagstaff, Arizona, and they get snow in the winter. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, I guess like higher elevation probably have a better chance for snow and all that. I was in Kuwait for a bit. It was never a good time. Oh, I can't imagine. That sounds awful. S tier. I would say S tier too. I like the skull on the over the headlight, and in general, it's just a neat like 70s motorcycle sort of thing. I would say S tier. The sidecars, man. The sidecar is cool. Come on, I like it. One of the few sidecars that I would give credit to. I put up there in S tier. I think the best sidecar in the franchise. Yeah, 100%. It's the best one. I don't like sidecar motorcycles in TM, but I love Gray and Black still. Exactly, yeah, Romeo nailed it. You know, like, I'd prefer it without a sidecar, but if it's gonna have one, I want it to have the TM Black one. Yeah, S tier for me. Yeah, the sidecar's cool in this one. Next is Crazy 8. It's an original character for Twisted Metal Black. Another race car design. It's almost 2 a.m. here in Quebec. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with us so late/early in your day. I appreciate it. I like TM Black, Mr. Grimm. Yeah, one of the best. It snowed the moment I got off the bus at Camp Arbolato in 2002. Oh, where's that? That's interesting. Yeah, I would like to know more about that. I would also like to know more about what you guys think about Crazy 8, because I like it. I like the old, stock car, race car sort of design. I think it's an A tier for me too. Not quite S tier, doesn't reach the same heights as Shadow or Spectre, but I'm leaning towards A tier for sure. Because we have to ask ourselves, do we like it more than Firestarter? Do we like it more than Slam and Brimstone? Yes, the answer is yes. So I'm cool with him being A tier. I wish it said a police car too. I would actually like that a lot more. But like a 30s car, like a 30s like roadster, whatever you want to call it, 100% that's great. California Mountains Test. Oh, I got you. Camp Arbolato. It's hard to pronounce. Nova. What if the next game Mr. Grimm has one of the tricycle motorcycles? No, good God. We already have one down here in the E tier. This little stupid thing. And it is staying down there. Yeah, so I think A tier is fitting. Keep Crazy in the A tier. I just can't put it below, some of the ones we put up there. He doesn't have headlights in the cutscenes, but only in game. Is that true? Let's. Oh yeah. Shit, I never noticed that. Although if it is a race car, race cars don't typically have headlights. So that is fitting. All right, down to just 4. Dark Side. This is the only Dark Side I kept on here, just because it's so similar to the other ones. It's like, I don't want to have like 5 different versions of Dark Side. He doesn't have headlights and cutscenes, but okay, yeah. But slight nitpick: the animation for the fire missile feels a bit lazy, since it looks out of place coming out of the fenders, doors. I don't know, it might just be me. I don't know, I never thought about that, because like the articulating weapons, I think they add a lot to like the presentation of the game, but it doesn't change functionally anything about the game, so it doesn't really break a whole lot for me. But I see what you're saying, like, it does feel kind of lazy. Like, why didn't you think of anything else? Yeah, I'm with you there. Scary, his dad's prize cards, backstory to his failed legacy. I like that it's his dad's like prized car, you know, because when I think of, you know, Crazy 8, I do think a bit of like, you know, what identity and legacy does mean, you know, like following your parents' footsteps and all that. You know, so for him to utilize, you know, because he never could be a championship boxer the way his dad was, but he's using a tool that his dad gave him, you know, to win a different kind of contest. You know, not a boxing contest, but a, you know, vehicular murder contest. I don't know, I always like that part of it. I don't find it scary at all. S tier for this one police car for a ramp bumper. 100% the Crush police car is that's S tier all the way. I mean, that's the coolest part about it. You know, you have a black semi, which is already menacing and cool, but you fucking staple a police car to the front? Good God. Amazing. Also, whatever song is playing right now is fucking horrifying. What song is this? This is Drive-In Theater. Wow. Has to be S tier, being come on as a police car, as a ramming device and girder armor. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I nailed it. Romeo might be as a motorcycle, but it's also an open-air roadster. I think I'm missing out on that. Put it in S tier. Yeah, no, S tier for sure. I don't know why we've been considering anything else. Closing in on the last few. Shadow. Twisted Metal Black Shadow. I'm conflicted here, because I like the one from 2 more, but I do think this one deserves S tier as well. I think it's a cooler, proportionally it makes more sense. You know, it's flatter, it's a little bit shorter, it's wider, you know. The skull, like the skeleton on the front's pretty cool. It's still a purple hearse, although the purple's a little understated compared to like the one from TM2. So I don't know. I'm thinking A tier for sure. Like I would not put it any lower than A tier. I think in the rainy levels when Dark Side comes out, I don't know where Ramsey was scary. Oh yeah, definitely. Especially like on snowy roads. Like, I don't know, that's where I would hate to see Dark Side just flying at me. S for the same reasons as 2. That's where I'm leaning to. Yeah, good chat says S. B, S for sure. A tier, TM2 is better to me. Like I'm with you guys on S tier, but also like Romeo's right. Like TM2 is better. So do we give TM2 the respect it deserves and put this one in A tier? I don't know. Alright, whatever the next one comes in at, whoever puts a rating in next, that's what we're going to put it at. Regardless. It's the same hers. A and B. Alright. Jesse, thank you so much. It's going in the A tier. Alright, just 2 more. Yellow Jacket. It's the same hearse, just more detail. It is, but it has different proportions. And it's not as iconic as TM2 is either. I would say that about it. Why can't they both be in S tier? Man, TM2 has enough respect. Alright, you guys convinced me. It's an S tier. Oops. God, this fucking this mouse is so fucking sensitive, you guys. Alright, so let's do S tier and then Yellow Jacket. Let's see where he's at. The armor taxi design is very cool. Looks stepped on. What looks stepped on? Yellow Jacket? Come on. Yellow Jacket looks stepped on. I like how a headlight is out. I love the moody looking car. Like it has so much charm and personality. I like how like the roof is so low. So like the proportions of like the car versus like the roof, like it makes no sense, but fuck, it's cool, man. I love it. It looks sad. It looks a little mopey. You know, sort of a melancholy, down on his luck. You know, just this thing has seen better days. And I like that about it. Like the machine guns where the sign would be. Like it looks like a car that they came up with like quickly. Like, or like, you know, when they were brainstorming, hey, what's the coolest cars we can put in this game? Like one of the first ideas they came up with was this one because it's just so fucking cool. So I'm thinking A tier. Also the special with the special out's pretty cool, like the spikes. I think it's pretty interesting. Also, it took me a long time to find out that the spike special is better as a melee weapon than like an actual, like, you launch it. And I'm like a little annoyed that it took me as long as it did to find that out. We got A tier, S tier. A tier to me. I'm thinking A tier. Because, like, do I put it above TM2 Spectre, above TM2 Thumper? It's tough. It's tough. Just do A. All right. All right, Wallace. Don't gotta yell. Do A tier. Yeah, A tier is crowded, man. A crowded tier. All right, last one. And it's a good one. We got Twisted Metal Black, Warthog. Where does he go? Because as far as like how unique and creative it is, it's S tier creativity. I mean, it's not a natural thought to like staple, just plop a fucking station wagon on top of tank treads. But the actual design of it, it's kind of dumb. Like, it seems B tier. Yeah, so much for lonely A tier. Yeah, that went quick. E tier, A tier. He doesn't hit multiple people. Once one hits, the rest phase through the other vehicles. They fixed it and lost, but got rid of the homing property. That's a shame. I think in Twisted Metal Black Online, it also got a bit of a boost as well. I remember like watching one of the Twisted Metal Alliance videos where they're like talking about all the strategies and stuff. So the Yellow Jacket kind of got a bit of a bump. Yeah, E tier, A tier, SS. Come on, what minion should have been besides the station wagon on tank treads? Like, give me more of this shit, man. Like, yeah, the absurdity, like the crazy ass shit. Give me more of that. White Knight is such a weird design. It's cool though. I mean, like, I don't know. It shows a lot of fun. A lot of creativity. C tier, A tier, B tier. I think I'm going to B tier as well. Like, and that's just being generous because of how unique it is, and nothing else. Like, it's a dumb looking car. It's just unique. That's all it is. Yeah, I think I'm with Wallace on C tier. Yeah, the Joneses got an upgrade. Yeah, right. What if Cage, the driver, what if he's like the father from TM4 of the Joneses? And like, just after years and years of just like the most horrific horror movie stuff, this is how he ended up. Like, their station wagon is just like a hollowed out shell that he just plopped on top of some tank tread. Like what path do you have to go down to go from the Joneses in TM4 to Warthog in TM Black? That's what I want to know. Give me that game. Give me that story. C tier works. Yeah, fuck it, C tier. I'm gonna plop him in the C tier. Just to see plopped a station wagon on those tank treads, we're gonna plop him in the C tier. There we go. And that concludes our 50 car tier list. And this will be volume 1. Volume 2, I'll try to add TM1, Head On, and 2012, and Small Brawl as well. Can't forget about Small Brawl, as many people do. It is underrated and overlooked, but good God, is it a good game, and great design for the cars too, especially for PS1. Yeah, lots of love for them. Oh my God, this fucking mouse, dude. There you have it. Cotton Hill is loosely related to the Jones. Yeah. God, give me more fucking King of the Hill, man. Where's that show been? Miss it. Volume 2 coming soon. Yeah, this is fun. I'm glad you guys, sort of stuck with me through this tier list. Because it feels like a bit of a weird idea for a live stream for Twisted Metal, because I think most people naturally would do gameplay, but to kind of just, work through a tier list with you guys it's a treat. So I appreciate that participation. I appreciate the support. I appreciate all of you. But I think that's all I can muster for this. But thank you so much all for watching. Pogmaster, Wallace, Java, Sparrow, Angel, GigaChad, Jesse, Romeo, A Little Lucky, Clipsnot was in there, Charlie McNeilson, all you guys, thank you so much. And unless you guys have anything else that's pressing, I think that's all I got. That should be a weapon. The RC version of the car you're driving in, like God. Oh, that would be cool. I would like to see that. Wonder where Trapper will be. Yeah. Yeah, find out in Volume 2. Find out next time on Volume 2. Yeah, thank you all for hanging out with me on 4th of July. Hope you guys get some rest. Hope you enjoyed your holiday. Hope you guys get back to work safe. Get some rest. And good night.